Good evening and welcome to Waukee High School as it's another doubleheader night here on Central Iowa Sports Network. Thanks for joining us. Dar Danielson here with Emery Songer as number 5 Waukee will host number 13 Valley. And Waukee had been kind of on a roll, Emery, but then you saw them the other night against Dowling and ended up losing that ball game, which is, something you probably could expect it to go either way, and it ended up being a 14-point ball game. I think I saw a little bit of it, but was it as close as that score indicated, or?
I mean, I came out of that game feeling still very good about Waukee as a team. At the same time, I felt a lot better about Dowling as a team. Whenever you have someone of the caliber of Caitlin Clark, and she is not alone. She has a lot of trust in her teammates. I think I had her down for 8 assists during the game on Tuesday. This Waukee team is a very good team, but it's just hard to have answers when a player like that gets rolling. Over 35 points in the game for Caitlin Clark, plus those 8 assists. Had plenty of help from other players. But this kind of matchup is the matchup you'd expect the Waukee Warriors to bounce back. This is a very good Valley team who's just now kind of getting healthy. They are a young squad, but at the same time, if Waukee wants to get where they want to get to this year, I would expect a big bounce-back performance from this group.
Yeah, and Waukee's only other loss has been to Johnston, the number 2 rated team, so they've lost to a couple of good teams. This Valley team, as you said, young. I've watched them a little bit. I think they've gotten better, but it's hard even when you get better in this league because you're going up against, some of the top teams. You got Johnston, Dowling, Waukee, Southeast Polk, Urbandale, all in the top 10 here. So, you may be getting better, but sometimes it may not show so much when you go up against some of these other teams.
Yeah, when you look at the schedule for West Des Moines Valley, they have the 6th toughest strength of schedule of any Class 5A team. There are 40 Class 5A teams. So being in Central Iowa already is a gauntlet, but especially considering the fact that this team is so young and trying to get them kind of going in the right direction at the right time of the year. You can never count out a Valley team, especially one that is coached by Joe Sigrist. But like I said, Waukee has some high hopes. They don't want to just get to Wells Fargo Arena, but they want to compete for a state championship. They played Johnston pretty tough. That Johnston team, I saw that game as well. Incredibly impressive group for Johnston. We're talking about a Dowling team that has clearly the best player in the state, and Caitlin Clark that Waukee also has lost to. And then you talk about a team like Iowa City High that, over on the east side of Iowa, there's plenty of good talented teams as well, but Waukee needs to know that they belong at the top and the upper echelon here in Central Iowa before they can even worry about some of these powerhouses that are coming out from east as we get toward February in the postseason.
Yeah, then you still got Southeast Polk that's in the mix there too. They're a very good squad, and so one of these teams might be left out when it comes to, going to Wells Fargo in the start of March, end of February there. So we'll see how that all works out. Got a chance just to talk with the 2 coaches. Some of the keys to the game for Valley. Joe Sigrist says they want to stop the dribble penetration, and that's important with these guards you have in the play of Waukee. They also want to rebound and not give them second shots. For Waukee, Chris Guess, rebound was one of his first things, and he said push the tempo. We want to push it and get down the floor, and that's a key for them. So it sounds like for both these teams, no second shots, and then who could control the tempo here is going to be a big factor in this ballgame.
Yeah, Waukee, the 3rd best offense in all of Class 5A, averaging better than 71 points per game. On the other side, Valley, they only average 54 points per game. So if you maximize as many possessions as you can, knowing how many scores that Waukee can rely on to give them points, how balanced they are, you would think the more possessions that Waukee has in this game, the better opportunity they're going to have to put this one away fairly early in the second half. Another interesting point with the rebounding, Waukee did have an injury with Taryn Reitzman, one of their forwards, their low post player against Dowling on Tuesday. She left in the early portion of the second quarter and never returned. Not exactly sure what her status is going to be and what strength she's going to be in this game, but in terms of the rebounding, that could be a big swing in the favor of Valley if Reitzman is unable to go for stretches of time tonight.
Interesting numbers in the shooting. Alex Honnold shooting 50% from three-point range, but that's 7 of 14. Then you look at Lindsay Kelderman. She's shooting 50%. That's 30 of 60. 63s, and she's hit half of them.
Yeah, and on top of that, you talk about this Waukee ball club they're never going to be out of a game as long as they have multiple volume three-point shooters. And
Peyton Kelderman hitting 47%, and then you got Katie Dinabar hitting 38%, Reagan Bartholomew 35. When you're 35 or above 40 from the three-point range in high school, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, girls basketball teams, Valley I would say is probably about the average girls basketball team from outside the arc, 30% as a squad. Waukee's flirting with 40% as a team. So that's what we're talking about when you maximize possessions, but with the new analytics that we've seen overtake college and professional basketball, that's gotten on down to the high school level, and you need to have multiple shooters out there that can knock down three-point shots, and you'll never be out of a game, especially when you play with the kind of speed that Waukee likes.
Well, both teams out warming up. We're getting ready here for the start of this first of our doubleheader here tonight. Waukee hosting Valley. We'll take a break and come back with more after this on CISM.TV.
Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com. People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Here at Waukee High School in the field house, Darty Angels along with Emery Songer getting ready for Waukee in Valley. And that first ball game, it did over at Valley, and it was ended up being 48-33 win for Waukee. And Valley hung in there for quite a while, but they had trouble from the outside, missed some shots, and then Waukee pulled away late in that game. But they kept him in that 48-point range. That's about, I think, where they'd like to see tonight. Keep that score down.
And if you can somehow keep this team under 60, I think that's an impressive feat. They kept them under 50 the first time, so they have to have some level of confidence coming in here, especially not knowing exactly how strong that Waukee is going to be down low with Reitzma being either limited or maybe even out for this game. But generally speaking, Dar, I just can't imagine this Waukee team being held under 50 points again or even 60 points again. If I was a betting man, I would say Waukee, especially after Tuesday night's loss. They're going to come out with a fire, and I would expect Valley have to have a very good shooting night if they're going to stay in this one through the entirety of the game.
We're getting ready for the start here, and as we do, Jim Dewey will have an elementary group sing the national anthem. Very good at getting the elementary kids involved here in Waukee. And
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
we'll stay right here and watch
CIML Iowa Conference girls game between the West Des Moines Valley
and listen to the
Waukee Warriors.
national anthem here tonight.
High School has committed itself to maintaining the highest level of sportsmanship possible at all athletic events. To achieve this goal, Waukee High School is asking every Warrior fan to treat our visitors in the same manner we would like the Warriors to be treated when they're away from home. And secondly, for each of us to be courteous and considerate of our neighbors in the stands by what we do and what we say. Have you please rise as we honor our country and its flag with the singing of the national anthem tonight, brought to you by the Woodland Hills 5th Grade Chorus.
Hi.
Outstanding. I always like to see the young kids get involved. I remember as an elementary kid when we got to play at halftime of the varsity game, what a big thrill it was. And you get to come out here and sing the national anthem in front of the crowd. It's good. It always gets the kids involved in the school spirit and everything.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, you talk about just success breeding success. You want as many young people to be around the successful nature that both of these programs have, especially when you can add an elementary school program. They're going to come to these games and be like, wow, this is a big deal. And that's just going to perpetuate that for the next class and the next class that comes through that 5th grade group.
So about ready for the starting lineups here tonight. It'll be for Valley, the 5'9 sophomore, Meredith Reeker, Grace Plummer, the 5'10 senior, Alex Honnold, the 5'8 senior, Haley Chappell, the 5'6 junior, and Maggie Hall, the 5'7 senior for Valley here tonight. For Waukee, it'll be Peyton Kelderman, Katie Dittabier, Reagan Bartholomew, Lindsay Kelderman, and Megan Ernie as they dim the lights and go with the spotlights. And they have all the accoutrements here, too, in the field house.
I mean, when the first time I was here, I was just absolutely blown away by the production level of this gymnasium, this high school. And this is why they're good, and they are a very good basketball team on the girls and boys side.
And for the Warriors, 5'6 junior number 2, Lindsay Kelderman.
Maggie Hall, Lindsay Kelderman.
For the Tigers, number 5, Grace Plummer. And for your Warriors, the 5'8 junior number 10, Katie Dittabier.
Katie Dittabier. Grace Plummer.
For the Tigers, number 10, Haley Chappell. And for the Warriors, the 5'8 junior number 14, Peyton Kelderman.
Peyton Kelderman and
For the Tigers,
Haley
number
Chappell.
22, Alex Honnold. And for the Warriors, the 5'10 sophomore, number 32, Reagan Bartholomew.
Alex Honnold and Reagan Bartholomew.
For the Tigers, number 24, Meredith Reeker. And for the Warriors, the 5'9 junior number 34, Megan Ernie.
Meredith Reeker for Valley and Megan Ernie for Waukee. Chris Guess, the head coach of Waukee. Joe Segrist for Valley. And I give Chris Guess a hard time sometimes. His wife Sherry's an assistant, and I said, I don't know how you do that with working with her wife, but it works out for them.
Hey, very good team. Might as well keep what works. And one thing that you immediately notice, Taryn Reitzman not in the starting lineup. The sophomore Reagan Bartholomew draws the start in her stead. And I believe that she is dressed, so we'll see if she is available for any length of time. But Bartholomew, an incredibly talented young player as well. Not necessarily the big low post presence that Reitzman can give you, but especially with the ball in her hands, she is a good creator with the basketball, can get her own shot, which you don't see with a lot of underclassmen, and they trust her to handle the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, and at this point in the season, you want to get her healthy because we're heading toward the end of January, toward February, and the final downhill run to the state tournament. As we get ready to tip it up here, and the tap goes back and be controlled by Valley as Hall pulls it down. Valley in the dark uniforms, home whites for Waukee. Hall down the lane, finds a wide open lane there, misses the shot, battle for the rebound. Honnold puts it back up, gets it blocked, then gets the foul on Bartholomew.
That's one thing that you're going to miss Reitzma immediately there. Bartholomew is in that spot instead. Bartholomew stands at 5 feet 10 inches, and Reitzma just 1 inch taller, 5'11", but she's got a ton of experience getting position down low. You're going to have to be able to shore that up and not give up those second chance points like you talked about in the open.
Honnold gets the free throw. She's shooting 74% from the line on the season. Second one is good, so Valley takes the early 2-0 lead on the free throws.
It'll be interesting to see how much pace Waukee comes out with here, see who they try to establish as the primary scoring option early.
Valley in that zone, extending it out against Waukee. Kelderman over to Dittabier. Across the top to Kelderman. Looking down low, Ernie cutting across there. We're going to work the top, trying to find a seam in the zone. Over to Lindsay. Now Peyton Kellerman bounce down to Ernie. She dribbles in, shoots it up top for three. Good! Lindsay Kellerman. The 50% from three-point range hits her first.
That's the danger when you're going to run a zone defense against a team that shoots this well. They will be patient until they get the shot that they want, and they knock it down an awful lot, especially from outside.
Dribble in, stop back to Hall. She gets it off. Dreeker, shot up, no good, and the rebound comes down to Kelderman. Over to the other Kelderman, now back to Kelderman, and she shoots the three, is good! And the one thing Valley's got to, they tried to do a little bit in that first game was match them in the threes. You can't do that. You can't just come down and start shooting it. They got to run their offense.
Hey, and 48 points you allowed. I mean, that's incredibly good, but it just tells you how much Valley struggled offensively, that game still wasn't within reach by the end of it for Valley.
There's a drive just off, and the rebound comes down to Bartholomew. She takes it into the free throw line, spins it back for three. No good this time. They missed the first miss of a three tonight, and then scramble for the rebound to go out to Valley.
And you want Dennebeer to take that shot every time that she feels comfortable. She comes in as your leading scorer at 14 points a game. She is 39% from outside the arc as well. And it took her a little bit to get going on Tuesday, and by the time that she started getting it going in the fourth quarter, they were already too far behind against Dowling.
Pull-up jumper is good by Honnold. She's got all four of their points here to start it out. Kelderman fakes, sidesteps over, and then shoots an air ball there. Looked like she got set, but just enough of defensive disruption she didn't get the shot off.
Both Kelderman girls really love to catch and shoot, and that time she tried to create off the dribble, a little pullback. Didn't have the feet set. That's a tough shot for anybody.
Then Honnold loses the ball and gets the foul call, trying to get it back. So first team foul on Valley. Both teams now with one team foul. And here comes Waukee. Lindsay Kelderman over to Peyton. Back to Lindsay. Dennebeer puts up the three, rolls out, rebound. Good job of getting it out of there by Hall. Looked like she was boxed out, but still able to get the rebound for Valley. Chance to tie it with a two here. Hall looks, now drives around the screen, kicks it out for three, short. And good rebound by Grace Plummer, and everybody kind of stood around looking at that, and Grace Plummer just went in and picked up the easy ball there.
Waukee off and running as well. Plummer does lead Valley in scoring, 11 points per game. They are very balanced, but do not score as much. Total points, Plummer at 143 points per game. Or on the season, I should say, there are 3 Valley or Waukee Warriors with that number or greater.
Lindsay Kellerman, bounce pass inside. They go to the inside for once. Now kick it out to Dennebeer for three. Good.
Third time was a charm there. That was a good look from Ernie, underneath the basket to find her wide open. You don't want her to be shy. Like I said, you want to get Dennebeer going. She is your leading scorer on the year.
So the third three makes it 9-6. Waukee. They did get it in the post, but then kicked it out. Hall dribbles in. They rotate it over. Looks for the cutter there, Plummer. Now inside, Honnold puts up the right-hander short. Rebound comes off to Peyton Kelderman. And she'll push the tempo. Slapped away, but kept possession. Now Dennebeer, long three, no good. Rebound, battle for it. It'll go back to Valley.
You can tell that was a point of emphasis. You talked about maximizing possessions and playing with a quick pace. Dennebeer was very, I wouldn't say timid, but Dowling took her away early. That's why she was unable to really get going until the fourth quarter when the game was basically out of reach. Here, 4 quick three-point attempts in the first 5.5 minutes or 4.5 minutes of this game. So you can tell they really want to establish her as a scorer. And good news for Waukee. Taryn Reitzma is out there here in the first quarter to play down low.
Yeah, looks like she's got that left leg wrapped there, though. And Abigail Jones also in for Waukee. And Maddie Brown, the freshman, in for Valley. There's a three up by Hall, no good. Battle for it. Brown puts it back up and draws the foul. So Maddie Brown gets into the action right away.
And that's the interesting thing is Reitzma picks up the foul. With Reitzma even being bothered by that leg injury, on top of that, can she elevate? Is she going to be able to, get her normal position down low and collect rebounds? If you look at the rebound numbers, she by far and away is the leading rebounder for Waukee this season. With that ankle injury, it's going to be interesting to see if she's able to elevate and try to make something happen there. And she picked up a foul in the first 30 seconds she was out on the floor.
Brown gets 1 of 2. And cuts the lead down to 2. Kelderman drives baseline this time and gets blocked as Reeker came right in there and swatted that away.
Yeah, Reeker, excellent job on the help defense. And Waukee isn't just a three-point shooting team. They will try to crash in and maybe kick it back out.
Dinnebeer puts up the 3. Rebound, battled for. Reitzman got it. Now they kick it out. Dinnebeer for 3. No good. And the rebound comes off to Plummer rather. All the way down and then blocked on the other side by Dinnebeer.
6 attempted threes already for Katie Dinnebeer. And on the season, she has 70 threes, which is the team high. But at the same time, I don't think I've seen a girls basketball player in the state of Iowa shoot 6 threes in less than 6 minutes before.
They've shot just 1 inside that arc. That one, no, he said it was touched. Okay, I thought that was going to be over back, but it was tipped. Here's a 3, quickly, no good, and the rebound comes off to Abigail Jones. Up to Kelderman. To Dinnebeer. Back off to Peyton. Kelderman and back to Dinnebeer. Looking against that 2-3 zone. So far been successful in getting the open seam. Jones cross top. Well, she'll try the 3. No good. Rebound underneath by Valley. Plummer gets it. They've been doing a pretty good job so far in that key of rebounding underneath. There's a drive and just off. And Jones will get the rebound. Quickly up the floor. Kelderman pulls up inside the three-point range, slides out of there, and pulled down by Valley.
Yeah, you wonder if they're going to run a little bit more of an offense because they are taking some open shots, but the shots just aren't falling right now.
There's a long 3 is good by Valley. Grace Plummer gives them the lead here by 1. 10-9 Valley.
And the zone defense has done its job. It's forced outside shots, and Waukee just has not made them. But as we talked about earlier, they are a 40%, almost a 40% three-point shooting team on the season. You'd think that will even out as the game goes on if they keep getting those clean looks.
Minute to play here, first quarter. Waukee working it over to Dinnebeer. Dribbles to the top, gets it Jones. Now back over to Kelderman. She drives and throws it across the lane. That was a great job of defense on the baseline, wasn't it?
What Waukee is going to eventually need to do is find somebody who can just get in the middle of that zone and force the top to come down a little bit so they can open up those outside shooters at the top. Because right now, you saw everybody. I mean, it was just perimeter-oriented the entire time, and they couldn't get anything going because you can see Valley has mastered this zone. You just got to shoot over it and create some open looks for your teammates.
Here comes Valley. Maggie Hall. Back up top, kicks it outside, down the lane, up and blocked by Reitzma. Now knocked away, but kept in possession of Waukee. Jones gets it over to Peyton Kelderman. She dribbles in, now spins around and gets called for the travel as Maddie Brown put her hands up and just great defense there to not...
I've seen Kelderman do that move a couple of times, but like you mentioned, staying grounded, not buying the pump fake, so the step through was open. That was a great job defensively.
7 seconds. Lob it inside. And looked like they got pushed down. No call. Here's Hall for 3. And that'll do it. At the end of 1, Valley leads Waukee 10-9. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, this is Chris from FIREPLACE Superstore. It's cold outside and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, FIREPLACE Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Here at Waukee on CISN.TV, Dorn Danielson, Emery Sauer. We'll go to the second period. Waukee in the white with the ball, trailing by 1. They've hit 3 threes, but Valley's held them pretty well in check so far. Kelderman with it. Lindsay gets it to Peyton. She pulls up and leaves it short. And the rebound comes off to Valley. Down the lane, Hall up, and no good. That just rolls out of there. Would have given him a 3-point lead. Kelderman back the other way with it.
Yeah, Waukee, we talked about the 3 made threes, but those all came fairly early in the quarter, and then a ton of missed shots. They're getting decent looks, but you got to give Valley a ton of credit. They are not blinking with this zone defense.
And they aren't establishing anything inside. Dinnebeer for 3. No good. Rebound comes off, and a foul will be called against Waukee.
I mean, just generally speaking, Dinnebeer, that's her 7th attempted 3. She's made only one of them. This is almost a 40% three-point shooter. But those are pretty good looks. You'd think as the game goes on, percentages will kind of even themselves out, and Waukee will go on a spurty here. But I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. Before the game, I said, I don't see any way they're going to keep Waukee under 50 points. Well, they're well on their way to doing that the way they're playing defense right now.
And we talked about rebounding. They're not getting many second chances on the offensive end. Valley's did a good job of clearing off the boards.
Yeah, I don't think there has been a second chance opportunity.
Down the lane, and a foul will be called against Bartholomew. Her second straight foul here, and that'll give her 3.
And that's really important because now Reitzman is probably going to be taxed into playing, maybe the next 6.5 minutes on that bum leg.
And that's 4 on the team now. They lob it in, handoff, down the lane, jumper, down the hole and out.
I'm telling you, Dar, these rims have not been kind to either of these teams.
Yeah, for Reeker. Well, it was chilling off outside pretty slick when I came in, and we've kind of seen the chill here, about halfway through that first quarter. Same thing here. Kelderman drops it back to Kelderman. She drives back to Kelderman. Over to Dinnebeer.
Look at this zone defense float back and forth. Nobody on the perimeter getting any open shots. Somebody's going to have to penetrate the middle of this zone and try to get them to scramble.
If you can't get it inside and back out, sometimes that hurts at 3. Here's a long 3 is air ball.
I mean, when you're passing it around the perimeter like that, Dar, you're going to have to settle for a shot like that instead of getting that wide open catch and shoot 3 that they hit a couple early on in the game. I don't think they've made a shot in almost a quarter's worth of action.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since they've made one. Now, Valley hasn't exactly run away with it, but themselves, but when you're the team that's scoring 20 less points per game, that's what you want to see.
Yeah, this is it going exactly how they want it to go. They'd like a couple of these floaters that have gone in and out to fall for them, though, and build up a little bit of a cushion.
Up to Reeker. Kelderman on her. And they're just weaving it up high, looking for that opening. Plummer gets it over. Chappell drives in, kicks it, baseline jumper. Good! By Grace Plummer. And Valley wants a timeout, a 30-second timeout. Let's keep it right here.
I'm really impressed, not just with the defense, but Valley's offense. As you can see there, a lot of motion. And with Reitzma on the floor, they know that she's not going to be playing in a man-to-man situation. They're going to try to keep her down low so she has the ability to grab rebounds and get going the other direction. They've done a good job of staying away from that side of the floor as well. And Plummer with the open mid-range jump shot, quick catch and shoot. I don't know, Dar. I came into this game thinking Waukee was going to be a ball of fire, and they have been, but they have not gotten a lot of open shots. They haven't been able to make a ton of shots.
They came out early and hit those 3 threes, and then all of a sudden, okay, they're going to get rolling, but then credit to Valley, they've kind of shut them off.
I think it's been about 8.5 minutes since the last made field goal for Waukee, and that tells you just how tough it's been for them to get those clean looks. And Dennebeer, having shot 7 threes, made the second of them, but has missed 5 in a row. Do they try to get something else going on the offensive end with this zone defense, not allowing any penetration at all?
So out of the timeout, here comes Waukee. Valley on a 6-0 run here. Over to Kelderman, Peyton Kelderman to Lindsay. She drives in. Dennebeer flashes into the middle of the lane, but comes back out. Now they're bringing that zone way out. And the inside presence hasn't been a problem at all. Now over baseline, Ernie for 3. Good! Megan Ernie finally gets him on the board.
You see what happened, though. As soon as they were able to establish the ball inside with Reitzma, all of a sudden that defense had to scramble a little bit. Good skip pass, extra pass made to Ernie, wide open 3, and she knocked it down.
Yeah, you got to get in before you can get it out. That one's up and off, no good. Dennebeer with the rebound, off the miss by Reeker. And throw it away.
I love the idea just to pass a little too high. And Reitzma immediately after the turnover gives the thumbs up back to Dennebeer and said, hey, that's exactly what we need to be doing. But you got to take those fast break opportunities when you have them, considering how stagnant Valley's defense has made the Waukee offense at times so far in this game.
Hannah Spain back in for Valley. Abigail Jones in for Waukee. Drive baseline back out to Spain, the freshman for Valley. She drives, kicks it out for 3, rolls around and out, and the rebound pulled down by Reitzma. And that's her stock and trade when she's down there, is clearing the boards. Knocked away. That'll stay with Waukee as Plummer stepped right up there and got it. Knocked the ball away from Abigail Jones.
See if they try to find a way to get it into Reitzma again here.
Kelderman. Jones, a long 3, short, rebound pulled down by Spain.
Abigail Jones, pretty solid three-point shooter, but I'm not sure that's the shot that early in the offensive set that Coach Guess and the rest of the Waukee staff was looking for.
No, 3 okay, but an NBA range 3, no.
And without a shot clock to work against.
Yeah. And that just plays, now nice takeaway by Dennebeer. She'll go up and get the bucket.
That's great for her to be able to get an easy one after missing 5 consecutive outside shots.
Milwaukee goes back up by 2.
Are we going to get Reitzma here? No, they're going to get Kelderman. Reitzma was afraid that was going to be 2 on her, and that would really put an interesting situation for Coach Guess with 3 fouls for Bartholomew, and then Reitzma, who's already on a gimpy leg, would have 2 fouls here and still 3 minutes to play in this first half.
5 team fouls for Waukee. Valley, left side drive. They throw it across the lane. And luckily for Valley, it's picked up there by Plummer. Up to Chappell, now pull up for 3 is short, and the rebound comes off to Ernie. Quickly goes down looking for Reitzma, but it's knocked away.
It's the second time Reitzma has gotten ahead of everybody going down that on a bum leg. You have to respect her instincts. If she's not positioning at the rebound, she is trying to go the other direction. But the one thing that you do notice here, the Valley outside shooting that we talked about 30%, about average for girls basketball. I feel a lot better about Waukee shooting improving as the game goes on. I'm not so sure about Valley's.
Yeah, and that's what, here's Kelderman. That one 3 is off, and Peyton Kelderman tries to save it, but she had a toe on the line. And that's what they got into the problem in that first game. Then they started trying to match them a little bit with the 3s. It didn't work. Waukee wants a timeout. We'll take a quick break here. Come back after this on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
We're at Waukee High School on CISN.TV. 2:28 to play in the first half. Waukee 14, Valley 12. In a low-scoring game, we've been talking about it. Waukee averaged 70 a game, but Valley is keeping them right down where they want it here. Valley with the ball. They're in the dark uniforms. And then a travel called as they got Anna Spain trapped over there on the sideline. A double team.
Out of the timeout, a very aggressive full court press look for Waukee to try to finish out the last 2.5 minutes here and go on a little spurt potentially, get themselves feeling good going into the halftime locker room.
Down to Ernie, back up to Dinnebeer for three.
Dinnebeer for three.
Her first point since the first quarter.
Here's the interesting thing. If you're going to leave her open, she's going to keep shooting it, and that percentage is just going to keep going up.
And take it away, Kelderman, Lindsay. Dinnebeer looked at the shot, now back over to Kelderman, no good. Ernie gets the rebound though. Waukee, as you said, they're looking for the push here to end the quarter. End the half, knocked away by Valley. Valley still playing good defense. Now Kelderman almost got it from Hall. Here's a three, no good. And Kelderman pulls it down. That's the thing again, Valley trying to get into the three-point shootout, and it's not working so far. Kelderman now on the drive. She gets bumped, though. The foul will go against Honnold. Not a bad foul, really, just her second.
And that was a good look for Plummer. Plummer is one of the top three-point shooters, certainly the highest volume three-point shooter, and got a good look at the top of the key. But if you're not going to be able to make that shot, you're going to be in trouble because, like you said, Dar, on the season, Waukee's shooting has really been rock solid.
That one just off and pulled down by Valley. Reeker is back in there. Also back in is Weiss. Here's a three by Weiss short, and the rebound rattles around. Kelderman gets it out to Kelderman. They'll push back 3-on-2, pull up Dinnebeer, no good, just over the side. Ernie gets the rebound and gets the foul.
Talked about that in the first quarter and a half, the fact that Waukee had not gotten an offensive rebound. Valley was doing a great job of cleaning up the offensive glass. Ernie on back-to-back possessions gets offensive rebounds to give Waukee a second chance opportunity.
First personal on Plummer, third team foul, that shot up, no good, and knocked away by Kelderman. Over to Kelderman, she fakes a three, drives in, and the foul is called on Weiss.
A great inbounds look for Reitzman there, and you wonder how much that ankle is bothering her. Didn't really get it elevated at all for that little mid-range jump shot, and she'll come out for Abigail Jones here. But how about these Kelderman girls? They are so gritty defensively, and they can turn the defense into offense so quickly.
And offensive call, I think, against Dinnebeer.
I think it's Jones.
Or was it Jones?
Yeah, got the hip out there on the screen.
Okay.
First team sixth.
Just trying to buy about 46 seconds with both Reitzman and Bartholomew on the bench, so Jones is going to have to play kind of that big position. Ernie actually has shifted back into that post position as well. So
pressure now. Valley's got to get it across. Oh, they were close to the 10-second count, and then they get the steal there. Jones brings it down across. Dinnebeer up and good.
Dinnebeer, assist Jones.
Yeah, that's an excellent play by the sophomore Jones, creating the turnover and a perfect pass. Dinnebeer filling the lane on the fast break.
Well, Waukee on a 10-point run here. Or 8-point run, I should say. There's a long three. Good from deep downtown. Reeker.
That's a huge shot to end the half.
That cuts it down to a 19-15 halftime deficit. It could have been bigger without that three, but Reeker gets it from downtown, and that's where we stand here at the half. 19-15 Waukee over Valley. We'll take a break, come back, look at the first half scoring, and talk a little bit about this first half after this on CISN.TV.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving Northwest and Central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
The Chevy SELLDOWN event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy SELLDOWN. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are at halftime here in Waukee, 19-15 Waukee over Valley, and a little worse, but Reeker hit a three right before the buzzer for Valley. But right now, Emery Sunger, Valley's got to be liking where this is at. We've been talking about throughout the game, Waukee averaging 70 points, but they got them at 19 here at the half. So far they've been able to control the tempo pretty good.
I thought before the game that it was going to be fairly impossible, especially coming off a loss for West Des Moines Valley, to be able to find a way to keep Waukee under 60 points, let alone 50 points again. And they certainly have done that to this point. That zone defense has created some issues for Waukee. Haven't gotten a lot of success in getting in the middle of that zone. That's how you kind of break it down and find openings for the shooters. Katie Dennebier, I love how aggressive she was in the first half, but did have only she did end up with 10 points by the end of the half, but a lot of that came late. A couple of fast break opportunities and layups for her. But I love how aggressive she was, but those shots just were not falling for her. You'd imagine that the three-point shooting will improve for Waukee as the second half goes on, knowing they're about 40% as a club. On the other side for Valley, 8 turnovers have kind of been their demise. They have had some open opportunities, haven't shot the ball very well. If you take away that Reeker three at the end, they only had 2 points the entirety of the second quarter. But they can't turn the ball over either, and that created some fast break opportunities and got Waukee into a little bit of a rhythm as the second quarter ended.
And their outside shooting has not been real good. I don't know, they made, 2 threes there, but they have been able to penetrate a little more against Waukee. And if Waukee isn't getting it inside, then that lets that zone spread out so much more, and that makes it a little tougher get the open looks on the threes, because you can still pass it, but if that 2-3 zone is spread way out, it's a little harder to get around them.
Yeah, and that's why I think Chris Guest is obviously a great girls basketball coach, but I would think that when you have a player like Bartholomew or Reitzman, they did find her on the block once, but I would even bring that player just inside the free throw line, in front of the back line of that zone and behind those stretched out the top of that zone. And then all 5 of those players are going to have to look at that player. Okay, who's getting that player? And that should move that zone around just enough. And then when you're in the middle of that zone, Dar, you can look in any direction, and there are 4, like for Waukee, literally 4 other shooters
players that can shoot it, yeah.
that are going to be on the outside, and somebody, I would imagine, is going to be open if you're able to attack the center of that zone a little bit more. And I don't think, and credit Valley this as well, I don't think Waukee was able to get any looks in the middle of that zone in the first half.
Because you got your choice of Keldermans, you got Dinnebeer, and then you got Ernie who's out there too, and then I don't think anybody on this Waukee team is afraid to hoist up the 3 here.
And if Bartholomew's not playing that 5 position for Reitzma, I mean, she's also a solid shooter as well. The only thing that I would be concerned with if I was Waukee is just passing it around the perimeter and then settling for a 3 without getting a ton of separation from the defense.
And we're seeing here, too, with Valley, Joe Segrist, he's playing a lot of players, too. A lot of players off the bench, a lot of young players. We talked about that. Getting them in there, playing that defense, and getting them a little rest. And defense, even in the zone, people think it's easy. You just stand there. No, a zone defense, you got to move around and keep your hands up and be active, too. So you're not just on a zone, you're not just standing there.
And all 5 of those players, the reason that this was successful is as Waukee was going side to side, even though they weren't getting in the middle, everybody pass to pass was moving along with the ball, making sure that nobody was getting an easy open look. And you have to really credit just the rotation from Coach Segrist, but also the players out there and their discipline and staying in the right spot. Again, I'd like to see Waukee attack the middle of that zone a little bit more, but even if they don't, give a lot of credit to Valley for not giving them any easy looks within the 2-point range.
We're at halftime here. You're seeing the youngsters shooting out there for some prizes. We're going to take another break. We'll do that. We'll come back with more here after this on CISN.TV.
Will drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Hi, this is Chris from FIREPLACE Superstore. It's cold outside, and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, FIREPLACE Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here at Waukee, both teams out warming up. Waukee and Valley. Dart Angelson along with Emery Songer here. Mentioned a little of the scoring. Katie Diddebeer leading Waukee with 10, and 3 apiece for Peyton Kelderman, Lindsay Kelderman, and Megan Ernie. For Valley, 7 for Grace Plummer, 4 for Alex Huddle, 3 for Meredith Reeker, and 1 for Maddie Brown. So not a lot of scoring on either side here, 19-15. But let's talk a little bit about what do you expect to see starting the third quarter here, Emery?
Well, I would imagine that Valley is going to continue to try to put their focus on the defensive end of the floor and that zone defense. And offensively, keep doing what they're doing. They did get some open looks. The one thing I would say, 8 turnovers is a little too much for Coach Segrist and the rest of Valley. I would imagine that they're going to try to cut those down and make sure that they take care of the basketball, especially against that pressing defense, because those steals were leading directly to easy shots for Waukee on the other side. For Waukee, I would imagine you got to find a way to get at least a look inside the arc whether it's on the block or up by the free throw line. Break that zone down just a little bit and see if you can't get going with some of your three-point shooters early on here. And remember, they did get early threes. They got 3 early threes in the first quarter and then went an entire quarter without scoring another point. So those are the kind of droughts you're going to have to avoid if you're going to try to put Valley away here in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, outscored them. Well, they went on a 6-3 run there to end the second quarter, but the scoring has not been at a blistering pace for either team as we start out with a 3 off, no good. Kelderman, the rebound for Waukee. That's Lindsay Kelderman. She drives in, kicks it out to Peyton, over to Dinnebeer. Now back up to Lindsay. She calls for a screen, gets one from her sister.
Right there where Ernie is, that's exactly the spot you want to try to get the basketball once the top of that zone comes out. Right there. Got to find a way to come maybe out a little bit more for the Keldermans and give her a little bit more space to operate with the ball.
Looks like, there's Bartholomew with it. Looks like they're trying to get Bartholomew in early, posted up, down low a little bit to get it in and out. Now into Ernie. She spins, looks, and then gets it blocked.
That's an excellent effort by Plummer underneath there.
Grace Plummer just puts the hand up, and then a tie-up by Reeker.
Now, see, did you expect this? A quick shot within 10 seconds of the quarter starting for Valley, and then Waukee having a minute-long possession right after that. It's basically the opposite of what we expected coming in here.
Yeah. And then a foul from behind on Haley Chappell.
Foul on 10, Haley Chappell.
Her first, and the team first in the second half.
But you can already tell that Coach Guess is trying to get a player established inside the arc to try to break this zone down just a little bit.
And again, without Reitzma on that block is a little stronger down there with her size. Now down the lane, Dinnebeer kicks it back to Ernie. An offensive foul is called then.
What an excellent,
Dinnebeer.
That's an excellent job by Maggie Hall reading the play. It was a good cut by Dinnebeer. The defense got caught looking into the corner. She cut. Going to need some of that slashing as well, but Hall read it in enough time to get in position and draw the charge.
Full court pressure now by Waukee. And
they turned them over about 4 times with some of this full court pressure in the first half.
They get it across this time. Chappell over the left side now. Back across comes Hoddle. Chappell against Lindsay Kelderman. And Waukee in the 2-3 zone also. They try to go inside, knocked away.
If the game continues to be played at this pace, this advantage Valley.
Arnold with the shot. Arnold gets the first bucket here, and then back down the other way. Bartholomew answers quickly.
Now, see, that's more of what we expected, a long possession for Valley and a very quick one for Waukee.
And back to a 4-point lead again for Waukee. Chappell over to Hall. Back to Chappell. Right side with it. Reeker. On the drive, tried to dish it off, and it's taken away. Here comes Waukee on the break, and the foul.
I told you, Bartholomew very gifted with the ball in her hands as a ball handler, dribbler, and a finisher. On the other end for Valley, just trying to do a little too much with what the defense just wasn't giving any lanes inside, but Hall just really didn't want to take that open 3 on the right wing.
And free throw no good. And then a foul on Kelderman.
Her second, team second.
But that's about the 4th or 5th turnover for Valley that has led directly to quick points on the other end for Waukee. On a night that they're not shooting the ball very well, those are huge points in a game, especially that Valley wants to limit the amount of possessions both team has.
Chappell with it to Reeker. She'll drive in, now look for somewhere to go, over to Hall, now baseline. Back down, cut, nice cut down the lane. And Plummer gets the bucket. Kelderman back up to Dinnebeer, over to Kelderman. Ernie comes over, and there's a 3. Loaded that up quick. Rebound comes down to Honnold. Honnold gets it stripped away on the break. Dinnebeer takes it all the way in, leaves it short. Tried to cut between two defenders. Now Hall back the other way. Three, no good. So we got a lot of action and no scoring. Ripped away by Reeker and throws it over the head of Plummer. Things have gotten a little ragged.
I think Waukee wants this, though.
Yeah, they want a little faster pace.
Because,
you're right.
I mean, at least this creates a little bit of discombobulation, a little bit more fatigue on both sides, and that should bode well for breaking the zone down a little bit easier on the offensive end of the floor. Man, but Dinnebeer, such a quick trigger on those three-point shots. I know they haven't been falling tonight, but, man, that is a dangerous weapon to have.
Jones to Reitzman, then up and blocked.
Reeker again.
By Bartholomew. Down, Honnold leaves it up short, and those are the ones you got to hit for Valley. As Jones came in and Reitzma last time, and now there's Kelderman, Lindsay, as they'll reset it.
Now they're going to try to flash Bartholomew in the middle of that zone here, try to break it down. There it is, open shot.
And off, long, rebound pulled down by Plummer, stolen away, Daniel, and then hammered down on the foul. Little frustration there by Chappell.
3 quick turnovers again in this quarter for Valley. We talked about it against that pressure defense. You just cannot turn it over because it leads to scoring opportunities, and now free throws here for Kelderman, a good free throw shooter. And the announcer curse.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 50% on the year, but she is a gifted shooter generally. She doesn't get to the free throw line all that much, but eventually Waukee, you'd think, is going to start capitalizing on these opportunities.
It's only their first made free throw, but they only shot, 3 here. And the pressure again almost comes through. Now quickly in. Oh, Jones played that nicely.
You called it, Dar. She could not have played that any better, and not making any contact, but also not giving away the passing lane.
Made the angle a little tougher on that.
With the offhand as well for Plummer with the left hand.
Almost a jump out there by Honnold, and there's a 3, no good. Rebound put back by Daniel. Or Jones, excuse me.
Jones.
She's done a great job off the bench.
Yeah, Valley's going to take a timeout here, but those are the things in a zone defense that eventually will break down, as well as the ability to rebound defensively.
We'll take a break, come back after this on CISN.TV.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com. The Chevy SELLDOWN event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy SELLDOWN. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back here at Waukee, Valley at Waukee. Our man Reese down on the floor getting the angle for us with the camera there. And again, the pressure by Waukee. They're in the white, Valley in the black. And now Steele. Dinnebeer now taken back. And then a foul call on Dinnebeer, and she can't believe it.
That's a tough break because she was so close to getting a steal and another easy scoring opportunity. But give a lot of credit to Valley. They were not going to give up another turnover that easily. But this press has really been a bugaboo for Valley offensively so far in this game. There's another one.
Yep, taken away again, and then a foul as a little reach in there.
Here's your answer to not only speeding up the game, Dar, but also creating turnovers, not allowing Valley to get shots up. 7 points might be enough with Valley struggles shooting the ball as well.
14 fouls, second on Plummer for Valley. And both teams pressing and so far the Waukee press being a little more effective because they're keeping Valley from scoring, and we're right back where we were at halftime. 7-point lead here for Waukee. Kelderman. The Dinnebeer now back over, gets a little screen outside. Oh, and they just aren't falling.
Yeah, no, but that's an excellent look and a good drawn-out play there.
As Reitzman got the screen for her. Now out to Dinnebeer. Across the top they go. Now into Reitzman. She's double-teamed. Will kick it back. Drive and kick for three. No! Down and out. Putback is no good by Kelderman, but it will stay with Waukee.
I can tell you this, they have created a couple of different looks. That cross-court pass with the screen by Reitzma that sets up the open three on the right side, but also quicker ball movement has allowed some more open shots. Good inbound pass there as well.
Quick into Ernie, and she gets the bucket. And Peyton Kelderman came in for Lindsey Kelderman. Valley almost throws it away again. Here's a three. Reeker, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Dinnebeer. Quickly up the other way to Jones.
Got to keep that ball moving.
Dinnebeer dishes it back to Jones. She'll pop the three. No good. And battle for it. Reeker had a hand on it, and she got fouled.
All that talk Dar, about how great the three-point shooting percentage this season has been for Waukee. It's going to take a hit tonight, but I think they'll take it if they're able to finish this game with a W. But with 9 minutes left in regulation, just 28 points for Waukee, a team that averages 71 a game.
Third foul for Dinnebeer, 14th foul, and then Lindsey Kelderman will come in for Dinnebeer as she's in a little bit of foul trouble as we go under a minute to play in the third quarter.
That's the first time she's come out of the game all night.
Here's a three, no good, and kind of a push by Honnold. She didn't really get set and shoot it, trying to get it off early, and there's a foul.
Foul 42, turn Reitzma.
Reitzma called for the hold. So Waukee quickly building up 5 fouls here. As Valley gets it, they're down 9.
We'll probably ease a little bit of that aggression on a full court scale, especially with a 9-point lead here and knowing Valley doesn't really have an immediate explosive scoring option.
They need to get some kind of bucket, though. Not necessarily the long one, but maybe try to get it in. There you go. Inside. Now kick it back. Up top. Chappell. The wing to Plummer.
You're going to taste their own medicine here with this zone defense.
They rotate it around. Honnold. Or Plummer, rather.
It's 5 seconds.
Plummer shoots it. Oh, off, no good. Rebound, put back, block.
Oh, wow.
Man, I don't know about that. As they call Jones with the foul.
At the horn.
And
they had done such a good job for 50 seconds defending on that possession, but gave up the offensive rebound, second chance points, and a chance for 2 freebies with the clock stopped.
Plus, it puts them at 16 fouls, too. There's the first free throw.
You lost your cell phone and turned in.
Gets 2, so it's 28-21 after 3. We'll be back for the fourth quarter after this on CISM.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Chevy SELLDOWN event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy SELLDOWN. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Here at Waukee, Darn Danielson, Emery Songer. We'll go to the fourth quarter, 28-21, Valley trailing. They'll get the ball. A couple key free throws there at the end of the quarter.
Those 5 points at the very end of quarters, if you count the end of the first half, that big three by Reeker.
They throw it cross, now up top. Chappell, back over baseline drive, up and off, no good. Missed by Hoddle.
They're not going to be able to make shots inside the paint like that. It's going to be really tough for them to come back here.
Hoddle knocks it away, breaks away, and almost had a bad dribble there that made her lose it, but she's able to follow through, and now they cut it down to 5.
I know Valley wants to keep this a slow pace, but I think they're actually going to want the pace to increase a little bit here so they can get this within one possession because they don't want Waukee to be able to sit on the ball here.
And I think they can't jack up the 3. I think if they can get those 2s, go for it, because they've got 6 fouls on Waukee, and every foul after this will be a 1-and-1.
And they're a good free throw shooting team, 67%, pretty solid.
And you don't have a true bang it in the post play, but if they can take it at them. Dennebeer with it. Now Waukee being patient against that zone. They drop it inside and almost a tie up. Now they throw it over to Kelderman and 3 seconds in the lane.
Well, here's the interesting thing here, Dar. They did everything well, but as soon as Bartholomew or Ernie catches that high post pass that I was talking about at halftime, you want to go to the opposite side of the floor because that's where the opening is, and they just could not find a way to get that pass over there in time.
Here's Valley trying to break the press. They do. Plummer with it. Top to Chappell. Waukee extended the defense out a little bit there. Now over to Reeker. Bounce pass down. Now up top. They rotate it around for 3. Good! Plummer hits the 3.
And that's a huge shot there. That makes it a 2-point game, and now Valley can get back into their regular offense. But the ball movement in and out of that zone, nice extra pass by Chappell, and Plummer knocked one down. 35% three-point shooter on the year, and she's got 12 in the ball game.
So first 5 points, and then a steal by Valley as they cut it down to 2.
Kelderman would like to have that pass back. She read the play beautifully. The pass was just a little bit late and allowed Plummer to get a hand on it.
Reeker with it on the wing, throws it across. Chappell. Down low to Hoddle, not back out. Valley been very patient. Well, they play a lot of zone in practice, I'm assuming, so both teams should know how to work against the zone here.
Sure.
It's just following it through here. Dennebeer and Kelderman up top there, and Dennebeer almost got another foul. Would have been her 4th. There's a long 3, no good. Battle for it underneath. Ernie pulls it out of there. Big rebound.
That's a great rebound inside.
Kelderman up ahead. Spins, takes it to the rack. No good. Rebound rattles around and pulled out of there by Reeker. And Joe Segrist calls the timeout. I think he was worried she was going to get tied up.
I think he didn't really trust the fact that she had the control of the play right there. And she had gotten out the outlet pass just as he was calling that timeout.
Well, we'll keep it right here. And so far, again, we talk about Valley controlling the tempo, and they've been doing that to start out the 4th quarter.
Well, and the Plummer 3, that's how important that shot was, because as long as it's a play within one possession, Valley can play their game. They're fine taking the air out of the ball a little bit. Waukee, a 71 points per game offense, has not shot the ball well on the offensive end, but the last thing you want is for them to be able to spurt off 6 or 8 points real quickly, and that'll probably put it away because Valley a little bit offensively challenged as we've seen so far here. What I would like to see for Valley offensively while they are taking their time, continue to look for that skip pass. You see it from one wing to the other wing. That it continue, instead of Waukee having the ability to go from player to player across the floor in that zone defense, they immediately have to sprint to the other side, and that should give some open opportunities either inside or on the back end of those plays on the weak side. Both these teams are so well coached, though, Dar. I'm very impressed with the adjustments they've made.
Chris Guess and Joe Segrist, they both have had their teams, always in the hunt here. Waukee, they went on that 6-0 run there to end the first half, but for the 3, that would have been a pretty good run for them. But they haven't had, as you say, any extended strings where they've been able to run this away here. And now they'll drop back the pressure a little bit. They've been going full court. And Valley, a chance to tie it here with the 2 or take the lead with the 3. Maddie Brown in there in the middle. She flashes down. Back out to Reeker. Over to Hoddle. To Reeker. Do a little low post action down there. Now Chappell. Throws it over Hoddle. Looks inside. Not there. Now she lobs it over to Reeker. Almost threw it away, but Reeker runs it down. And Reeker moves it again.
Yeah, they have switched all of a sudden right into a man-to-man defense here for Waukee and Valley now. You're going to have to see some screen action here. They're playing kind of a zone offense right now against a man-to-man. They're not going to get any opportunities unless they get some ball screen action or a little weave like we just saw right there.
Now over Hoddle. Oh, up no good. Rebound comes off to Reitzma. So all that work and they come away with no shot. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. And a 2-point lead for Waukee, and they have the ball.
Not a bad look from Honnold there, but again, I think they were just caught off guard the fact that Waukee came back out and switched into that man-to-man.
Up top with it. Off to Didabeer. Ernie hops up, takes it for her. As just running a little time there, looking for the opening. Here's the three. Good! Abigail Jones gets them on the board here with 3:18 to play. That's their first bucket of the fourth quarter.
And then they come right back with a different press. Waukee is running almost a different defense every time down the floor.
Hoddle for three, rolls down and out, and that was a big one.
Yeah, if that goes, you're changing the entire complexion of these last 3 minutes. But right now, as Peyton Kelderman checks back in, you feel really good if you're Waukee. And you honestly, and I think that's why Coach Segrist wants a timeout, because Waukee could sit on this for a little while before they start getting into the offense.
Let's take a break. We'll be back after this on CISN.TV.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving northwest and central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
Here, Waukee, 3:03 to play in the ball game. Waukee just got their first bucket of the fourth quarter, but they've only been outscored 5-3, and they have a 5-point lead. As Valley had a chance to come back and take the lead, but now Waukee with the 5-point lead and the ball. They're in the white. We'll see if they kind of take their time, Emery.
I would imagine that you're going to see a little bit of four-corner style offense action, old Deed Smith trick, and I like this from Waukee. You got to be more aggressive. You still have a couple of fouls before you get into the one-and-ones. You can't just let Waukee sit here. And with Waukee having such a problem with scoring the ball, with just generally with scoring the ball, you got to force Waukee to move a little bit quicker. You don't want to leave yourself 60 seconds to have to score twice.
That was Reeker's second foul, 15 foul rather on Valley. And the thing you always got to worry about too with those guards is they're cut to the basket and catch off guard if you come out too deep on them. As there's Dinebeard, tries to dribble through, and Ernie saves it as she almost lost it. Now over to Kelderman, Peyton Kelderman. Over to Abigail Jones. Jones is a good player off the bench. She's really played well for him here tonight. Hit a couple big shots, too.
Here's that four-corner style. They're going to try to take as much time off as possible.
Into Reitzma. Yep. Back out.
You're going to have to start fouling.
Kelderman, they try to trap her, then they get the foul.
And they're going to have to foul. And they're going to have to foul even one more time to even get them to have to shoot free throws.
Yep.
13-6 to the half.
6-team foul now on both teams. And Waukee went to that in the third quarter, but Valley unable to draw the fouls to go to the line. Now Dinnebeer with it. Oh, and Kelderman just to slip up there. Quickly down. Reeker gets the and one as Dinnebeer helped her out there. Dinnebeer gets her fourth foul. Gives Reeker.
They're actually giving the foul to Kelderman.
Or Kelderman. Whoops.
Well, that's okay, though.
Yep.
That is a huge turnaround. I mean, you cannot tell that turnover without having to foul, but she can't complete the three-point play. It's still a one-possession game, though. That is a huge turnaround.
Big free throw, but still a three. Valley tries to trap up top. Dinnebeer, she gets through there to Reitzma. Now she's triple teamed. Knocked away. Huddled up and the foul on one.
Unreal how that happened twice. And another opportunity for the and one with 1:09 to go.
A chance to tie it up here with 1:09, as you say.
Wow.
Kelderman back in. Bartholomew back in.
Well, now, if Valley can make this free throw, I would still keep that pressure defense on.
Honnold, 74% free throw shooter. 4 of 4 on the night. And I'm jinxed there.
Yep.
But still just a one-possession game here.
They had two shots with two free throws, both missed, and now being down one. You got to keep this pressure on.
Valley swarming all over on defense. Bartholomew, now they have to call a timeout.
He picked up that dribble.
Yep. And Coach Chris Guess immediately said,
Full timeout.
Nope, full timeout. Let's take a break. We'll be back after this on CISN.TV.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Back here at Waukee, a 1-point ball game, 56.2 to play. Interesting dialing over Johnston, 50-30. Caitlin Clark with 30 points at the half there.
That's incredible.
They're probably into the a little farther along at this point too. There's Jill Segrist wanted that ball, but they're saying no, it was off of Valley.
Well, they've done a great job of trapping and getting steals without fouling.
61-46, the start of the fourth quarter, dialing up there. Well, that's not good news for 5A if Dowling starts to get on a roll there. And there's the foul called on Valley.
Well, and they fouled the right player. Kelderman has missed one of her two free throw attempts, a 50% shooter this season, although she does have a good shot from outside the arc. Sometimes these free throws are, especially in pressure situations, can be a little bit wonky. There it is.
And that misses the front end of the 1-on-1. Now pressure.
They have one timeout left.
And almost taken away. It'll stay with Valley.
Yeah, off the leg of Bartholomew. But you got to respect Waukee. Instead of getting back into a half-court defense to try to protect their one-point lead, it's still pressuring all the way up the floor.
Chappell gets it across. And they say nothing there. Dinnebeer fell down. See if they play for one shot here. They drive in the middle. Up and no! Off rebound, putback foul.
How about Alex Honnold? A couple of huge steals that resulted in one three-point play opportunity, and right there the offensive rebound and putback and a chance to tie and take the lead with 9 seconds left.
They're going to give the foul.
34, Megan
Ernie. They had to go back and check it.
What a huge rebound.
Honnold, a chance to give him the lead here.
And it's a 2-shot foul.
Yep. Oh,
wow.
This is that one.
So after making her first 4, has missed the last 2, but still has 1 shot to tie the game with 9 seconds left.
She's a senior. She's been in these pressure situations, softball, basketball, and hits that one. So we're tied, 9.3. Valley with a timeout.
Yeah, so Valley, interesting. Valley wants to call a timeout to set up their defense and try to get everybody on the same page, but that's going to allow a free timeout for Waukee, and they still have 3 left, so they can conceivably get a look at this defense and then call another timeout to set up an offensive play.
And they're still in the 1-and-1, so, but you don't really want to foul them at all. You want to pressure and make them throw up a shot with the clock running down here.
Well, and what's interesting is their half-court defense has been so good, I would be incredibly surprised to see Valley do anything other than be just in that half-court defense because Waukee has to still take it the length of the floor, maybe take one player down here and just make them take 4 or 5 seconds to get it across the timeline, which will only allow about 4 seconds for them to get a playoff and a shot up to try to win the game.
So here we go, 9.3 to play, tied up here. Valley looking for the major upset here of Waukee. Dinnebeer will inbound it, gets it into Ernie. Cross court, Kelderman. Kelderman driving in, kicks it out. Dinnebeer, no, there's timeout.
Yep.
Timeout.
That's interesting.
Waukee.
You've given yourself now just 1.8 seconds, and
Full timeout.
that's going to only allow you basically to pass it into somebody, and they're going to have to shoot the ball.
Well, we know they got a lot of long-range shooters, so you got to run some kind of screenplay to get them open for the quick look.
Whatever your best inbound play is, because this is going to be out on the side. Most of your top scoring inbounds plays actually come from underneath the basket, but sometimes you can kind of adjust the way that those look from the side to still get somebody moving toward the hoop or coming out for an open shot. They haven't, like you mentioned, Dar, enough shooters to where you could trust 2 or 3 different players to catch and shoot this ball. And what they do have working in their favor is if they miss, they don't lose the game.
No.
So it's still just a tie game.
Still tie game, and any foul, you go to the line. So Valley, defensively, you got to be careful. You got to get a hand up, but you cannot foul them.
And I know they haven't shot the 3. Waukee hasn't shot the 3 very well at all in this game, but you still can't give up an open 3-point shot.
Yeah, and you got shooters there, so you got to
respect their season numbers and not necessarily what they're doing tonight. But it's crazy. Waukee is 40 points below their season average right now.
Well, they kept him down in that first game. What did they say that was?
48.
That was 48.
But
yeah.
this is incredible for an offense this powerful to be held to 31 points.
And Valley scored 33 in that first game and lost by 15, but here, 31-31. Here's the play. Dinnebeer for 3. No good at the buzzer, so we'll go to overtime.
Got a good look. Got a good look.
31-31. We're going to go to overtime. And we'll take a break and come back with the overtime after this on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Back here at Waukee, 31-31. I don't know, just looking at it, Emory and Waukee only scored 3 points there in that fourth quarter.
And they went into like a time-wasting offense the last 3 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then a steal and finish by Honnold, a steal and finish by Reeker. But Valley missed 3 free throws in the last 2 minutes.
The chance to salt it away. But
they could have won the game if they make one more.
Outscored them 10-3 in the fourth quarter. There's the tip And they're going to say jump it up again. Couldn't tell who touched it last. So
what's interesting is Valley has already walked 2 players into the backcourt here, into their front court. They're going to try to go quickly here if they get an opportunity to try to get the lead, but Waukee wins the tip.
Waukee and White wins the tip. Waukee at 10-2, ranked number 5. Valley at 7-6, ranked number 13 in 5A.
We talked about Valley not turning the ball over, but it was Waukee's late turnovers that actually made this a game at the end.
Dinnebeer down to Ernie on the baseline. She gets it back out. Up to Kelderman. That's Peyton Kelderman. Now over to Lindsay Kelderman. Oh, they tried to go inside, knocked away, but it comes out long, and Dinnebeer will be able to run it down.
It was a good idea, just not an accurate pass. And we've seen this too. Valley actually has employed this before, where you hold on to the ball for as long as you can in the overtime period before taking a shot with just being a 4-minute period.
Down to Ernie and gets it blocked.
That's the second time Plummer
Yep.
has done an excellent job inside on help defense, and it looked like she was beaten on that play, but a good recovery, and now Rice was going to come in and try to help this offense out a little bit. But they did, after a minute of a possession, finally look at the rim. We need a shot clock, Tara.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on it. But Dinnebeer over to Kelderman for 3. Good! Lindsay Kelderman gives them the 3 in overtime.
And they took a minute and 10 seconds off the clock on that possession.
And now really puts the pressure on Valley, both defensively and overall. 3 up, no good, off, and almost saved there, up the miss by Reeker. But now here comes Kelderman back the other way. She'll hold it up. Gets it to Lindsay. And now Valley's going to probably have to foul here. Wrightsville almost pulled up that pivot foot.
Well, we saw him take a minute, 10 seconds off the first possession. Take another minute, 10 seconds, get any points here, and you're in great shape.
Here's a quick jumper up, no good, off the front of the rim. Reeker comes down with it and then gets fouled by Kelderman, Peyton Kelderman.
So I say that, and as soon as I did, they found the open spot in the middle, which they've been trying to do in the second half, but Valley's done a good job not biting on those outside looks, and Waukee's poor shooting night, I think, has helped that as well.
Well, and that wasn't a bad shot, just out and out, you know. That
but that's the 5. You would hope that's the shot that they could get a little bit more frequently, and I like that Bartholomew looked at the shot instead of trying to just move the ball as soon as she caught it.
So Reeker hits it as their double bonus now for Valley. And big shot here to cut it down to a 1-point game. And misses. So 2-point, still one possession as we go under 2 minutes of play in the 4-minute overtime, halfway through the overtime.
Their aggressive defense in the trap in the fourth quarter got them back in the game. We'll see if they do that again.
Oh, they go down to Wrightsville, almost loses it, back out to Kelderman.
Some risky passes here.
Yeah.
Leading by 2.
Dinnebeer over to Kelderman. They try to double team her over there. And now dribbles through. There'll be a point where Valley will have to foul.
Yeah, we're getting
Jill
close
Seeger's
to that.
telling them to coming up. Kelderman with it. And there's a little quick push for the foul.
And I don't think they meant to do that, but I don't think that's a bad foul.
No, it isn't, because they're still away from the double bonus, too.
Yeah, so it's a 1-on-1 still, but Peyton Kelderman so far this season, 70% at the line. Probably not the first person you would have chosen to foul, but she misses one of these 2, you're still in the game.
And she pops it.
Now, she's had a quiet night as well. They've done a good job not even letting her get shots up. Dinnebeer has taken a ton of three-point opportunities, hasn't made a whole lot of them. Kelderman hasn't even had a lot of chances to shoot the ball.
Big one here as it ups it, and she misses it. Rebound comes down to Chappell.
That's a great board as well in traffic. We're still in the balance here, Dar.
Yep. 35-32. Three-pointer, no good, and the rebound comes off. And he takes a shot to the mouth, Bartholomew there. She comes down, but I don't know if Maddie Brown was the person they wanted to shoot, but now under a minute.
They're trying to foul now.
To Kelderman, and they finally do foul.
And that's the right player
Lindsay.
to foul.
Yep.
Maddie Brown, 3 for 18 from 3 this season, just 16.7%. She has done a really good job. That's why they've left the freshman in for the majority of this second half. But I like the idea of looking for a 3. I'm just not sure I would have drawn it up there.
And he misses the free throw. Kellerman comes out, taken away by Chappell.
What a rebound by Chappell again.
Valley staying alive again. Oh, throws it away. Dinnebeer. They got her. They double teamed her at the half line, and she couldn't get it out of there. Now the quick foul.
That's tough.
By Reeker.
Just misread, a little miscommunication in where her teammate was going to go. Bartholomew still kind of trying to get the cobwebs out. Both of these coaches are going to hate watching this tape. I'm going to tell you that, Dar. They're going to have all weekend to have to sit here and watch this game. It's been exciting for us, though.
Yep. Dinnebeer hits it.
Her first point since the first half.
Makes it a 4-point ball game. Second free throw, no good. Rebound comes off to Valley. Plummer.
Got to go quick here, down by 4.
And, pressure throws it away.
And the pressure defense, which allowed Waukee to get a little bit of separation at the end of the first half, has created a couple of huge turnovers here in the overtime.
And it's even more effective when you got to hurry because you know you need to score quickly.
For sure.
And now Valley, let's see if they try to foul here, and they reach in, and they do.
I was going to say, I mean, I would be even willing to just sit on that if I'm Kelderman and wait for them to try to foul me.
That'll be it for Reeker. She fouls out with 11 points.
I have her down for 6 points. 6. But 2 huge blocks and one of the big steals at the end of the fourth quarter, which allowed Valley to get back into the game. Yeah. Overall, generally speaking here, Dar, you have to really respect the fact that Valley was not intimidated at all in this game, and they somehow forced overtime against a team that averages 71 points a game, and in regulation they had under half of that.
And free throw is good. I know hopefully, I think Chris Guest is going to come up between halftime of the boys' game. He'll tell you, these two teams know each other. It's always a coaching back and forth, and it's always a rivalry, and that one is good.
Peyton Kelderman, having an incredibly quiet offensive night, comes up with 3 huge free throws at the end of this game.
So they'll take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. And big learning experience, too, for this Valley team, but also not a bad game, too, for Waukee because chances are as you get toward the tournament trail, you're going to be in some tight ones, and you're going to, have to know what it's like to come out and put the pressure on, get the ball back, and also perform in that under that pressure.
And when you're not having a good shooting night, having to find a way to win, because this is a good shooting team. They're just having an off night, and to be able to find a way to win against a good opponent when you're not shooting the ball well at all, I think that's a big confidence booster as well. But here's the thing, Dar. When I look at the top 15 here from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union that came out yesterday with Waukee ranked 5th and this Valley team ranked 13th, if Valley were able to come in here and pull this upset off, that closes that gap significantly. That leaves no room for error for Waukee because if Valley or a team like Ankeny Centennial or even Urbandale jumps them in the rankings, that lowers the chances that they would have multiple home games in regional play. And that would just make their road to Wells Fargo Arena in the state tournament that much harder. We already know it's going to be tough for these teams, and Valley probably is going to have to go on the road now as a second seed in their region. But this was a huge win for Waukee to be able to grab.
Not over yet, but with 6 points. There's a 3, no good. Rebound, battle for Valley comes away with it. There's a 3, no good. And it comes out long. Kelderman, she'll go all the way down and gets blocked by Hoddle, and that'll do it. Here, 38-32, so Waukee outscores them 7-1 in the overtime to take the win here. Let's take a quick break. We'll do that, come back, and wrap up the scoring in this ballgame after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, this is Chris from FIREPLACE Superstore. It's cold outside, and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Back here at Waukee, the final in overtime, 38-32. Waukee holds off Valley. And check the scoring for you. It was first for Valley. Alex Hoddle ends up with 13. 12 for Grace Plummer, 6 for Meredith Reeker, and 1 for Maddie Brown. For Waukee, 11 for Katie Dinnebeer, 7 for Lindsay Kelderman, 6 for Peyton Kelderman, 5 each for Megan Ernie and Abigail Jones, and 2 for Reagan Bartholomew. 9-6 Waukee after 1, 19-15 Waukee at the half, 28-21 in the third quarter. Then Valley went on a big run and outscored them, 10-3, yeah, in the fourth quarter to tie it up and send it to overtime, but Waukee outscores them 7-1 in the overtime, and they get the win here. Win number 11 to go to 11-2. Valley falls to 500 at 7-7. So final thoughts on this ball game here?
Well, first of all, incredibly impressed with the effort and the coaching. Joe Seegers had his team ready to play, and Valley, against all odds, even with an extra 4 minutes of play with the overtime, somehow held the third best offense in the state at better than 71 points per game, held the Waukee Warriors to just 38 points. I thought there was no way he would be able to duplicate that 48 points that they held him to earlier this season, but they did even better than that. The only unfortunate thing is the offense didn't get better for Valley, and they were only able to score 32 points. They scored 33 in the first meeting. Generally speaking, Valley is going to be a tough out, and I don't want to have to play them if I'm anybody in Central Iowa. On the flip side of that, they're going to have to find a couple of go-to players, not necessarily to score a ton of points, but that they can just trust with the basketball. A lot of big turnovers in the overtime and in that second quarter, and both teams are going to look at the tape and say there are a couple of free throws that both sides would have liked to have go down. 7 of 12 for Valley in the game, including 3 misses in the last 2 minutes. If you make even one of those 3 misses, Valley is going to win this game in regulation. And for Chris Guess and Waukee, 5 of 11 from the free throw line. And I don't have the shooting numbers for the three-point line, but after making 3 of their first 5 attempts in the first quarter, really, really dry from outside the arc throughout this game for one of the best shooting teams in the state. I think they'll bounce back. I think they're going to be fine, but this certainly is going to give him a lot of things that this team can work on as they look to try to solidify being one of the top 8 seeds going into regional play in a couple of weeks.
All right, well, good one here in the girls' ball game. We got should be another good one here in the boys as Waukee comes in undefeated facing Valley. We'll take a little bit of a break here and then come back, and we'll have the boys half of our doubleheader coming up in just a bit here on CISN.TV.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving northwest and central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes central bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Waukee on CISN.TV. Dar Danielson, Emery Songer getting ready to bring you the boys' half of the matchup here tonight with Waukee and Valley. Waukee coming in undefeated against Valley here tonight. And Emery, that can be sometimes something that's good because you're doing real well, but sometimes it can kind of weigh on you as the season gets going and everybody's looking at you and you're thinking, do we want to go undefeated or do we want to worry about that state championship, or do we, and sometimes your high school kids, you don't stay focused on stuff like that. You get thinking too much about it.
Well, and that's the thing too. You're only playing usually twice a week, and unless Mother Nature is messing with your schedule. And that just gives you even more time to think about the fact that, hey, we're number one. Hey, we haven't lost yet. This team was pretty darn good last year, this Waukee Warrior team, but the Tucker DeVries and Peyton Sandford, among others for this team. I mean, they got plenty of other pieces that are important, but two volatile and explosive scoring options, a team defense that has been solid all season long. Waukee, 8th best defensive team in the state, 2nd best in offense. They haven't played the toughest schedule, 34th toughest schedule out of 40 teams in Class 4A. That's a little bit of a concern, whereas when we get into district play and then, of course, the state tournament, you're going to be seeing the best that the state has to offer. At the same time, though, Dar, the way that this team is playing right now, I just don't – Justin Hull, I don't think has to tell them a whole lot about this. I think it's mainly an expectation at this point that Waukee is going to win all of their games. But I do agree with you that I think there is some value to having close games, maybe some scares. You never want to lose a game, but
no.
I mean, I am a huge Chicago Bears fan, and I've watched multiple documentaries on the 1985 Bears, who many believe is the best team ever. And
except they were beaten by my favorite Dolphins.
But and all the Bears talk about that loss. It was a Monday night game.
Yeah, and it helped.
And they don't think they would have won the Super Bowl had they had not lost the game that season. It kind of wakes you up, gives you something to work on, kind of humbles the team a little bit. And I'm not saying that Waukee needs that at 10-0, but I'm saying you're going to get every team's best shot at this point of the season when you got a 0 in the loss column. And I think Justin Hull would love to have an opportunity to pick apart some things. The Waukee girls had an opportunity. They're going to have a lot of tape. Coach Chris Guest is going to look at that tape and on Monday, he's going to talk to these girls and say, look, we got about 8 things out of this game that we could get better at. And I think Coach Justin Hull wouldn't mind having a game where he could show these guys, look, we're not as invincible as we might feel when we're out here.
You look at it, a little bit difference in the scoring, not quite as big as we saw between the girls, but 72 points to 63.5, but again, you look at the 40.8% three-point shooting, and you got Tucker DeVries hitting almost 51%. I wonder if they get together, some of the girls in the three-point contest. But still great outside shooting. You got DeVries averaging 21, Sanford 19, and then a couple others up close to double figures. For Valley, the 3 players in double figures there, so maybe spread out a little more. But you can't just say, well, we got to stop DeVries, because you got other guys who can score, and I think that's probably a key for both these teams is to move it around scoring-wise. We talked about rebounding in the girls' ball game. That's a key here. Don't give second shots, things like that.
You're going to need to get a little help if you're Valley. Defensively, Valley allows 51 points a game. That's right down the middle, 20th out of 48 teams in Class 4A. And I talked about the Waukee defense has been excellent this season. I know it was against one of the 34th out of 48 teams in strength of schedule, but 47 points per game. This Valley team is going to have some problems scoring the basketball. They need to have a good shooting night. They're 32% from 3. You'd like to see that probably closer to that 45 to 50% if you're going to pull off the upset here. And you got to hope that either DeVries or Peyton Sanford have a rough game shooting the basketball, because it's a lot easier to stop one of those guys. But when they're both cooking like they have been this season, and they were on Tuesday against Dowling, I mean, they made mincemeat out of a very good Dowling Catholic squad that was ranked 7 in the Des Moines Register Super 10. This Waukee team is legitimate, and they're going to need a little bit of help for if the Valley Tigers going to pull off an upset here. But you cannot discount the great coaching that BJ Windhorst has done, and this is going to be a battle-tested team. Again, good pedigree for this Valley team, and although they are not ranked right now in the Des Moines Register Super 10, they certainly are a team that you're going to have to respect here in Central Iowa.
And you see the starters there on the screen, and you got that screen kind of away from me. We'll introduce them as they do here. You see the starters right there.
Boys basketball game between the West Des Moines Valley Tigers
And
and the Waukee Warriors.
good crowd on hand here tonight for both the girls and the boys.
Maintaining the highest level
A little bit of USA action from the student section. You know, the student sections around the state kind of have their theme nights every single game. USA theme night for the Waukee student section over there, and they have packed that place over there. And, of course, as usual, Valley has completely packed their side of the floor as well.
in the stands by what we do
So-
and what we say. Tonight's game officials as assigned by the Central Iowa Metro League are Mr. Jerry Kinder, Mr. Brian Orlando,
Interesting how
Westwall.
the football, they've kind of put off a decision on, what they're going to do with that for about a week on the classes, and that'll be interesting to see what they come out with that, with talking about the Waukees and the Valleys and all that, and Dowling and football, and what they're going to end up doing with that, if they expand the playoffs or what they do.
Yeah, well, with the redistricting, you would hope, the state hopes Valley gets a little bit more of at least a challenge. I mean, like, I don't know if you pay close attention out there to high school football, but West Des Moines Valley's district that they played in this year was, I mean, I don't want to say it was weak, but they could have played their third teamers and probably run the table in that
I
district.
did most of the Waukee games, and they were continuous clock the last 4 games there. So that's the issue here when you get to it, the size of these schools and what you're going to do.
There is certainly in football an upper echelon in Class 4A.
Well, lights out again as we get ready for the starting lineups.
A-plus production as always here at Waukee High School.
And keep an eye on me if I pass out with these flashing lights going around here.
I love it. A little Rocky theme to get everybody going here.
The starting lineup for Valley. Number 2, Ty Walker.
Taj Walker, number 2 for Valley.
For the Warriors, the 6'6" junior, number 12, Tucker DeVries.
Tucker DeVries, the leading scorer.
For the Tigers, number 14, Drew Urick.
Drew Urick for Valley.
For the Warriors, the 6'7" junior, number 20, Peyton Sanford.
Peyton Sanford.
For the Tigers, number 20, Trajan Thornton.
Trajan Longton for Valley.
For the Warriors, the 6'4" freshman, number 21, Bryce Sanford.
Bryce Sanford for Waukee.
Tigers, number 30, Jake Howard. For the Warriors,
Jake Heller for
6'7",
Valley.
number 32, Wyatt Heston.
Wyatt Heston for Waukee.
For the Tigers, number 44, Eli Reardon.
Eli Reardon for
And for the
Valley.
Warriors, the 6'6" senior, number 33, Lincoln Swanson. Head coach of the Tigers is BJ Windhorst.
And Swanson, Lincoln Swanson for Waukee.
Head coach of the Warriors, Justin Old. Assistant by Trevor Michelson.
The way that the Waukee players reacted when Gonna Fly Now started over the PA is like, I think they kind of picked out a new song for this starting lineup, and the way the crowd reacted. Something like this, when you're on your home floor, it does give you a little bit of an edge. It pumps you up just a little bit more for a game, especially against a geographical rival and a team. I mean, Valley, let's be honest, has been a powerhouse in almost every sport for decades. You want to beat them every time that you're here with a big crowd on hand. I really honestly think that having the Rocky theme song, an excellent touch with the A-plus production they have here at Waukee High School. And, we talk about DeVries, we talk about Peyton Sanford. Wyatt Heston, I think, a huge player to watch for Waukee moving forward as well. Good three-point shooter. You can't guard 3 guys at the same time. If he starts getting going early, you're in trouble.
So Swanson will step in with Reardon. Valley in the gray uniforms, Waukee in the whites.
Those gray road uniforms becoming very popular, like black was about a decade ago.
Yeah, we're talking about that too. And black is coming out gray.
Especially kind of like dark charcoal gray. Doesn't have to be one of your school colors. A lot of schools are going to that look.
Yeah.
Waukee actually wore charcoal gray on the road against Dowling on Tuesday.
Valley with it. 3 is up and no good. Rebound comes down to Tucker DeVries off the miss by Auer. Go inside to DeVries.
Big height advantage here.
Backs in, spins, and pops it in there.
He's going to have that all night. If that's his matchup where Ty Walker at 5'11" is on him, he's got 7 inches on him. There's going to be no stopping that.
Lob it down low to Reardon. Back out. Elbow jumper off, no good. Rebound. Battled for in there, pulled out by Ty Walker. And then a foul on Sanford.
Yeah, you like Walker mixing it up there. It'll be interesting to see Waukee, typically a very good rebounding team as well. They're going to have to clean that up because Valley is going to try to capitalize on some of those second chance points when they get the opportunity.
One thing, Waukee seems like they always have size and length. I don't know what it is, but...
And it's across the board, even coming off the bench.
And nice drive in there by Urich, taking it right at the defense.
Yeah, good left hand as well. Let's see. This time it is Trajan Thornton picking up DeVries across the timeline. See if they get a switch.
Swanson over to DeVries. Good!
And he has unlimited range, Dar. You got to be able to guard him from 30 feet and in, honestly.
That one just slid right in there. Here's Valley. Working it up top. Walker ends it off. Back in, over the defense, off no good. Reardon. And now here comes DeVries.
He was double teamed when he took the shot, but I do like the look, and he did have some size advantage down there at 6 feet 6 inches.
Rotate it over now. Drive and kick it back to DeVries. Long three, no good. Rebound battled forward. It'll stay with Waukee as Sanford was right in there battling Urich.
And he can knock down that shot all day long. And it was a good closeout, but he's going to take that shot anytime you give him that much space.
Lob it out deep to Sanford. Over on the wing, Heston drives, kicks it out. Back over to DeVries. Howard comes out on him. He calls for some help. Finally gets it. Rotated over to Sanford. Price Sanford. Here's a three. Good! Peyton Sanford with the three.
Yeah, Valley immediately gets hit with 2 threes by the 2 top players for Waukee, and quickly head coach B.J. Windhorst wants to make sure they know what they're doing.
We'll take a quick timeout. Be back after this on CISN.TV.
We'll drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Out of the timeout, back to action. Valley after 2 quick Waukee threes. Gives them a 6-point lead. Valley takes the timeout, which B.J. Windhorst talks it over. And here's Valley in the gray back with the ball. Over on the wing, now pull up for 3. Oh, he gets the bounce up and the kiss off the glass for Auer.
Auer is their most high-volume three-point shooter. Not a great three-point shooting team is West Des Moines Valley, but when he gets an opportunity, he's going to try to knock down those shots for the Tigers.
Quick look underneath and puts it up and good.
Great look from Lincoln Swanson there.
I was just going to say, we didn't get any kind of that rim action in that first ball game. Everything was rolling out and off. Now back up and good. Reardon gets the bucket, and all of a sudden, the scoring pace picked up a little bit here.
Urich with an excellent opportunity on that pass. Good little pocket finish as well.
Out to DeVries. Dribbles by, kicks it over for 3. No, this one down and out. Rebound, put back up and blocked. Reardon might got a little hand on that, and he comes away with the rebound. Valley could tie it with a 3, cut it to 1 with a 2. Reardon will pull up and pops it.
Yeah, don't give him space. That mid-range jump shot is his game. Mid-ranger's kind of going out of style around basketball at all levels, but when you knock that down, that's still an important shot because then you have to be guarded.
And
maybe got a little bit of blood. Yep,
yeah,
a little bit of blood on the eye of Urak.
Drew Urich, he's a great football player. And they'll take him out. And Christensen will come in.
For the Warriors, present Mason Myers.
Also, Garang Dang enters as well. Really good defensive player in athleticism, and he immediately draws guarding Peyton Sanford. So we'll see what he does off the bench.
And that one rolls out, almost tapped out of there. Here comes Valley. On the drive, oh, blocked. Good recovery.
Mason Myers straight off the bench, immediately able to hustle down there on the fast break and get the big block.
Here's Valley with it now, still looking to take the lead here. The post up down low, but decided to keep it out almost. Then popped away, and it is finally. DeVries goes behind the back and up and gets the foul.
Yeah, a little bit of a bailout there because he was completely out of control, and his teammates were trying to get down there to help him, but he did an excellent job of drawing the contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. This is a spot in his game I know that he'd like to improve, though, just 66% from the free throw line, and this is a guy that shoots well over 50% from outside the arc, so we'll see if he can continue to improve that as the season wears on.
Hits the first one. Foul on Ding, that's the first foul for Valley. DeVries' second free throw good. He's got 7 of the Waukee 12 started out here. That one knocked away, all up to DeVries, and that's an easy layup over the front of the rim.
If you're out, you can't afford to turn the ball over like that. That one was an unforced error, just wide on the pass.
Oh, a little quick shot there, a little too quick probably for Christensen.
I think he thought he was going to get more contact than he did.
There's DeVries for three!
Yeah, Valley already in trouble as the Waukee offense starting to get rolling. A couple of turnovers, a miss on the other end, and a quick shot for DeVries, and just like that, he's got 10.
And the lead is 18. We'll take a break and come back after this on CISN.TV.
Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back here at Waukee, the Warriors have roared out to 18-point lead over Valley. Tucker DeVries with the 12 of the 18, or 12 of their 17 points here, but a big push to get them out to this lead here, Emery.
Well, they want to play fast. They want to score a lot of points. As I mentioned early in the pregame, 72 points a game. That's the second best offense in all of Class 4A. And they go, 2 or 3 guys off the bench deep. They've already got into that rotation. Valley's going to have to score if they're going to stay in this game.
Joseph Lindholm is in there now. See him right out there guarding. There's a little double clutch up and good by Ty Walker.
Yeah, Walker 5'11". He's not going to be the tallest player out there, but he does score about 14 points per game, and they're going to need him to score every bit of that and more tonight.
And turn around to the foul.
Raritan down there had good position, but you got to respect Mason Myers. He's come out really aggressive on both ends of the floor. I haven't necessarily seen him factored this early in games, and now he's going to get 2 free throws. He averages 3 points a game, but certainly is trying to make a plea to Coach Justin Ole that he needs more minutes in this rotation.
Valley lineup 14, Drew Urack.
Urick back in after his blood scenario. And 1 for 2 for Myers.
Yep. Back to a 7-point lead. Valley with it. And they're going to call a foul.
That's tough because there was separation with the off arm from Auer, and Lindholm was just kind of there, and it didn't really look like he got a hand in the way. That's a tough call, and Coach Justin Ole and the entire Waukee bench trying to make their case for why that should have been an offensive foul.
Valley now back with it, and
that one a little bit more clear of a foul as he was trying to reach in around the screen.
DeVries trying to step through it, and so first on DeVries, third team foul now on Waukee, as Thornton will get it into Auer. 3, good by Ty Walker.
Catch and shoot. That's the recipe for success. Walker, 32% from downtown, but those are the kind of shots that he loves to take when he just can set his feet, catch it, and put it up.
So they had an 8-point lead, now cut in half. On the drive, kick out to DeVries for 3. Row!
You're right. You are absolutely right. Whatever voodoo was on these rims is absolutely off and in favor of these players now.
And another 3 for DeVries. Reardon up and good. Reardon with 6 points.
He can put it on the deck a little bit too. I mean, inside of 15 feet, he can do a lot of things well.
5-point lead for Waukee. Gives it up now over on the wing to Sanford. Peyton Sanford. Kicks it over for 3. Oh, just in and out. The miss by Lindholm.
Yeah, you want Lindholm to take that shot, though. Continue to keep the defense honest and not have to leave some of these other guys that aren't DeVries and aren't Sanford. You want to have the defense know that when that guy's open, we have to guard him too.
Looks like Valley's going to pull it out for 1.
And all things considered, they could make this a one-possession game going into the second quarter. I think that's a win for Valley.
Over to Ty Walker. Thornton, Walker now back up. 3 seconds. Oh, off, no good. They won't get it off before the buzzer. And it'll be Waukee 21-16 after 1. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on CISN.TV.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving northwest and central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
Waukee, Dar Danielson, Emery Songer will go to the second period. Waukee leading here by 5. They'll get the ball, and Tucker DeVries with 15 in the quarter. And then a foul called underneath against Valley.
Yeah, they're going to say it was on the floor, so that won't be free throws. But I like going inside, and for Airden, that's the second foul. So that's going to create a little bit of a interesting decision. They're going to take him out immediately with
bring
Christensen
in there.
Good
And
look.
yeah, nice play. Swanson comes right down the line.
Price Sanford is so good on those inbound passes. Very accurate and knows the timing of the plays well.
Valley with it over to Auer. Back to Ty Walker. And Reardon's been the scoring threat for him, too. With 6, and now he's out there, and wow, DeVries just two-hand swats that one away. Oh, almost got the double clutch. There's Peyton Sanford looking for the foul. Didn't get it, but just about made something out of a nothing there. And then up and under, not going to go. And DeVries pulls it out.
I think this favors Waukee, though, to have this kind of crazy rough shot pace.
There's a 3 off, no good, and the rebound on the far side by Walker off the miss by Peyton Sanford.
He tried to draw a foul, too.
Yeah. A lot of contortion and stuff going on, but not a lot of points out of the whole deal.
Like I said, I think Valley is better off trying to slow this thing down a little bit and getting some control.
There's a 3 by Auer. He pulls up, and now all of a sudden, it's a 4-point game.
If there's a guy that if he can get going, things can change, it's him. 16 points per game. He just missed that shot at the end as they're going to call an offensive foul here. And if that's on Sanford, that's 2.
Yeah, Peyton Sanford picks up his second. 4th team foul here on Waukee.
His second, team 4th.
I think Waukee's going to talk about a
Yeah, they called a timeout. And
Sanford can't believe that he just picked up his second foul.
Justin Olds kind of talking with the official there. And Sanford's been a little, he wasn't happy with that shot down here and then came back, got the foul. But if you're Valley right now, you talked about it, you kind of like where you're at. You're kind of keeping them in check a little bit.
Yeah, but the one thing you just don't want is to get this pace going crazy both ways and then DeVries or Sanford or Heston hit a few shots in a row and all of a sudden you look up and you're down by 12. That's what happened to Dowling the other night. I mean, they can score 10, 15 points in 2.5 minutes, and if you're Valley, you just cannot let that happen. So you got to take care of the basketball. And it wouldn't, I mean, like, I like what I'm seeing on the shots from guys like Auer and Ty Walker. Just keep running your offense, see if you can't get a good outside look. There's another one.
Yeah, long 3, good.
I mean, he's able to set his feet. And Jake Auer, he is a problem when he has a little bit of space to fire that 3. Like I said, if you can get him going, that is a great equalizer for Valley.
And 2 3s, a 6-0 run here to start the second quarter. Waukee is yet to score. Or no, I guess he scored 1. But outscored him 6-4. That goes to the backcourt, but it was touched. Now good bounce. Oh, I was going to say a good bounce, but it got by.
It was a good pass. It could not be handled by Swanson.
Another 3. That one is off.
Yeah, trying to line that one up that time was Grant Reeker. And Reeker this season, 29.5%, but he is a pretty high-volume shooter. So just a little bit out of rhythm, I think, when he took that one. And that would have been a huge shot to make.
A little something different here. You don't, like at Valley, you have fans behind each basket. Here you have just the walls, and now a foul.
They're calling some ticky-tack stuff underneath there, and they're going to call that on Reeker. And really, I mean, I was kind of watching that play develop, and Lindholm basically just ran right into him and was able to draw the foul call.
So first on Reeker, 4th team foul. Both now have 4.
And then they're going to get Auer, I believe, on a hole.
Foul on 30, Jake Auer.
Before the ball was even inbounded.
So 2 quick fouls and no time ran off the clock there. So 5th team foul now. And Waukee with the ball. And
stepped out of bounds.
Yep.
That's a good effort, though, from Reeker stepping into that passing lane, but had a foot on the line as he was trying to flip that possession. Valley defense been very aggressive so far in this one. And if you're Valley, this is the time to pounce because Peyton Sanford with his 2 fouls is probably sitting for a few minutes. It's an opportunity maybe to get a lead.
DeVries free throw line leaves that short. And now comes Valley back the other way. Chance here to take the lead again. Oh, nice fake jumper, no good. Good look at it by Walker. I'll quickly push back the other way and blocked. And then the foul called.
Man, Reeker giving him some good energy on both ends.
Bryce Sanford got blocked, and then he fouled. And that's the 15 foul on Waukee. First. Are they going to give that to Swanson?
His first, team fifth.
I guess. I don't know if that's accurate, but
I thought it was Sanford.
Yeah,
They
I thought
put
it
up
was as well.
33 on the board, but
either way, man, you got to love what you're seeing from Grant Reeker on both instances coming into the game.
across the top to Auer. Auer now drives into two players and
the charge.
Offensive. Yeah, I was waiting to see. Yep.
His second, team sixth.
I was looking at the guy down there, but the guy up here eventually called it.
Which is interesting, but you're kind of waiting to, I think all the officials are kind of waiting on each other to call something there. There was so much contact, there had to be a foul somewhere in there.
DeVries pull up, no good. And tap off.
That was a
Swanson, yeah.
Swanson kind of hit that off the hand of Christensen. Savvy play by the junior, or pardon, the senior Swanson.
Well, they set up a play. They'll kick it far side for three, in and out, and all of a sudden, long range has gone a little cold here for Waukee, and then a block.
Now, see, I say that Valley doesn't want this game to kind of get into a chaotic pace, but they're kind of welcoming that, and they're hanging in there, and as long as Peyton Sanford's on the bench, I mean, they're going to have a good chance to stay in this game because now the defense can truly key in on Tucker DeVries.
That one's on Bryce Sanford, his first 16 fouls on Waukee, so the next one will be 1-1. Here's a three. Oh, that one rolls out. Auer looking for his fourth three.
That was a heat check one there because he was fading backwards, and he was kind of falling to his left when he let that one go.
DeVries dribbles in, just lays it off with the right hand. A little floater there.
I have him down for 17 here so far in the first half.
That's what I got. And now Valley came down and had several chances to take the lead.
Now they're trying to run a specific set here, and the Waukee defense with this zone is kind of not allowing them to get into that.
Yeah, they're kind of, I think they realize now it's a zone, and so you're right, they're kind of figuring out what they're doing.
That's the benefit of having multiple defenses you can throw out on every possession because you never allow your opponent to get into an offensive rhythm.
Now good little bounce pass inside. Just a little quick on the shot by Christensen. Again, I think he thought he was going to get a little more pressure than he did.
That's the second time that's happened to him. But I like that look. That was a good pass. Those are the kind of passes against the zone that you need to use if you're going to find an open look.
Right in that soft spot there, if you can turn and hit that. DeVries catch shoots, and that's a little long.
Look at
kept
Swanson.
Alive, man. Back to DeVries. He kicks it out. Thought there was a walk, but now back to DeVries. He fakes, drives in, bounce underneath, and that'll stay with Waukee.
Hey,
seems like are they overpassing a little bit here?
With Peyton Sanford out of the game, it messes with their offense because I think more pressure is on Tucker DeVries to try to create for himself. And you got to give credit to the Valley defense. They are flying all over the place. They're getting fingertips on passes. They're not letting Waukee do anything they want, but give a lot of credit to Lincoln Swanson for crashing the offensive glass again on this possession, giving him his second chance opportunity.
Get it to DeVries. Takes the left hand, now spins back, and then offensive foul. Yeah. Said he brought the arm.
That's interesting.
It's his second, the seventh foul. Offensive, though, so they won't shoot.
So now for 2 minutes and 10 seconds, it looks like Coach Ola is going to be okay having DeVries and Peyton Sanford out of the game. This Valley has to go on a little 6-0 run here because I don't think I've seen a few Waukee games this year. I've never seen them both out at the same time. But they both have 2 fouls, and he wants to protect them from picking up a third.
And now Valley. It's Waukee. Now there's
Valley's going to try to slow this thing down.
Is Waukee still in the zone? Looks like.
Yeah, I think they are. I think it's a little bit of a 3-2 look right now.
Yeah.
And if they're going to be willing to run, I'm surprised that they don't want to maximize possessions with Sanford and DeVries out.
Attack it.
I'm very surprised that they don't want to try to, make some stuff happen. But at the same time, look at the scoreboard. They're only down by 3 here. You hold this down to maybe 1 shot. You're down by, at worst, 3. And at a best-case scenario, you're tied. At the same time, you're not going to, I don't think in the entirety of the second half, DeVries and Sanford to be on the bench at the same time.
Yeah.
I just cannot believe that they're not trying to maximize possessions here. And if they don't score on this possession as well, I know you're only down 3 going into the half, but you'd like to think that this was your best opportunity to maybe take a lead.
Take it, yeah. Attack it when you got the 2 best players on the bench.
And Dar, we need a shot clock.
Yeah. I don't know. My thing is, I don't think about the 5A or the 4A boys. I think about farther down the line in some of those schools. Is why.
Yeah, no,
why
I get that it's an investment, but if South Dakota can have high school shot clocks,
well, it's not necessarily the cost, but I think the level of play at some of the other schools,
Still, though, this is a 3-minute possession. Well, maybe like 2.5, but still. Either way, here we go. You'd imagine here in the next 5 seconds they're going to start getting into an offensive look. But again, if they come up empty here.
Yeah, they miss it, then you got.
You just wasted your opportunity with the 2 best players on your opposition off the floor. And I'm just surprised they didn't try to take advantage of that.
3, no good. Rebound. Waukee, will they get a shot off? It's off at the buzzer, but it's going to be wide. So
Dar, I don't want to be too overly critical because I'm not a coach. I'm never going to be a high school coach at this level. BJ Windhorse electing not to attack Waukee when they have their 2 best players on the bench, and that's the shot they end up with at the end of the half. Very surprised by that, and we'll see if they make any sort of adjustments because I feel like that was a missed opportunity for Valley to maybe potentially take advantage of Waukee with rotation they probably don't ever have to run typically.
And that was an ugly quarter for both. A 6-4 Valley won the quarter, but they trail here by 3 at the half. We'll take a break, come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com. The Chevy SELLDOWN event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy SELLDOWN. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hi, this is Chris from FIREPLACE Superstore. It's cold outside and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, FIREPLACE Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Here at halftime, the Waukee dance team on the floor.
State championship level dance team.
25-22 Waukee over Valley. Tucker DeVries with 17 to lead Waukee there. And for Valley, Jake Auer with 9 leading them here in the ball game. And coach is coming up here, so we'll get him over here. And I'll have that, hand you that, Coach, and turn up the volume here. Well, one of those games where they kind of did what they want. They held you down scoring. You wanted to run the ball, but they kind of held you down, but you came out and won it in the end. I guess that's the important thing, huh?
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, they held you down in scoring. You kind of wanted to run it a little more, but they held you down, but you came out. You ended up winning it in the end.
We found a way to win, and we didn't shoot the ball the best tonight, but both teams. Valley came out, played us a little zone. We got a little stagnant, didn't move the ball like we needed to, but we eventually got out in transition. Our defense, we didn't get the run-out points that we normally get.
Free throws, I know you probably. Both teams,
5 for 11.
Yeah, 5 for 11, and that's something that you're probably not too excited about, huh?
No, and we work them all the time, situational free throw shooting, things like that. But at the end of it's just one of those things where it's a concentration thing, a focus thing, and we got to continue to be put in these situations to be ready for the tournament time.
Yeah, but as I say, we're talking. If nothing else, this is a tight ball game. It's one where you learned about what you have to do to finish on a game like this, don't you?
Right, and we still got to do all those little things. We got to our spacing, not hiding behind where the defense is, finding gaps, getting the ball moving instead of dribbling so much. But just we really lacked the rhythm offensively, and so when we are relying on that rhythm and with our size of passing and catching on the move and getting inside outside, in one side out the other, and getting those nice step in 3-point shots. Those shots go. Tonight, I think we were about 25% from behind the arc. That really hurt us.
Made you work a little bit too, both you and Joe down there, thinking back and forth. What's the next step here as coaches, and that kind of gets you in a little bit of that playoff mode, doesn't it?
We kind of thought that they may come out and go, man, if we pulled it out, and then we had a couple of turnovers there, and when we had those turnovers, that resulted in a couple of baskets for them. And I think we'd held them to like a point or two in the fourth quarter to about that last minute or two. And then that's when they ended up with about a 5-0 run, and then we ended up in overtime.
So you played Dowling, we talked about before, all these games are tough, but how you like where you're at here as we're heading toward February?
I mean, we have shown that we can compete with the good teams, and we have confidence in those games. We definitely need to continue to improve with our offensive rhythm, and we have to continue to get better defensively and to really rely on our defense to get run-out points. And, that was when we kind of separated tonight, is we had like a 5-4, 6-0 run, something like that, where we turned up the pressure, denied the ball in, got a couple of turnovers, and got a couple of run-outs and a couple threes.
And then keep everybody healthy too.
Yes.
That's
Taryn Reitzman. How about her? Yeah. She goes down with a bad ankle sprain in the early second quarter of the Dowling game, and doesn't practice on Wednesday or Thursday. And then is at practice watching, and then she comes out here and guts it out. And I think she had 8 or 9 boards tonight. So what a gutty effort out of her.
Yeah, good leadership too.
No question. We have great kids. We really do, and I'm really proud of the fact that they found a way to get the job done. And at the end of the night, when you can win and not play as well as what we are usually playing, that's a good sign.
Yeah, that because you're building toward
knowing
that tournament trail or wherever it may be, you're going to come up against some nights where maybe the shot isn't falling,
right,
or maybe they get a couple shots that fall that you didn't think were, and how you react and know how to handle that. Right,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, Coach,
we're getting there, one step at a time.
All right, Coach, appreciate you joining us. Coach Chris Guess, Waukee, they won here tonight in overtime over Valley. And we're here at halftime of the boys' game. Waukee leading Valley 25-22. We'll take another break and come back after this on CISN.TV.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Halftime winding down here at Waukee. Dar Danielson, Emery Songer. Thanks again to Coach Chris Gass. Coming up quickly, let's go into the two locker rooms here as we get started in the second half, Emery.
Let's go ahead and start with Waukee. Kind of wiped the sweat off the brow a little bit. Didn't have the greatest offensive first half, and you had both your best players out for the last 2.5 minutes of the first half, and Waukee able to, they didn't even have to touch the basketball because Valley held it for so long. At the same time, Valley in the locker room, Coach B.J. Windhorst has to really like the effort that he got from his guys. 17 points that they allowed to Tucker DeVries. We know that he's going to get his. Peyton Sanford only had 3. He's eventually going to get his too. What you have to be able to weather the storm with is, can you get Jake Auer to make a couple more shots? I really like the game of Ty Walker and how many different things that he can do. I like to get him slashing a little bit. But you also have to be able to adjust to Waukee's ever-changing defense as well. Yeah. Stay aggressive, and if you can get another foul or two on either Sanford or DeVries, you're gonna be in business here to try to make me pull a road upset.
They had Raritan with 6 in the first quarter. He didn't score in the second. They only had 6 points. That second quarter was kind of ugly overall. It was 6-4.
Waukee scoring 4 points in a quarter in boys basketball, averaging 72 points per game. And I'd say I'd surprised, but I just watched the Waukee girls, who are third in the state, with 71. It was 71 points per game. They had a 3-point quarter. Great look inside to start the quarter.
Nice in there to Raritan.
Yeah, it was a great look by Trajan Thornton on the pass, and Waukee just left the middle wide open.
Makes it 24-25. 1-point ball game. And that one thrown away. And Valley coming out trying to make a little charge here to start
Waukee, a little
second half.
1-2-2 press action here, three-quarter court.
Lob it over. Thornton and
I'm telling you, if they're going to show that pressure, I think Valley can handle that and get some easy buckets like we've seen the last 2 times.
Urich with the bucket. Now Valley's in the lead. I don't think they've led since the first bucket here tonight. Into the post, back it in, turn around, and good. Nice little Peyton Sanford. You talked about it. He is averaging about 20. Has just 5 with that bucket, but it's good for Waukee if he can get going.
Yeah, Thornton is down about 5 inches on that defensive matchup. Played pretty good defense there. There's no stopping that, though, when you don't have a length advantage over the guy you're guarding.
Auer dishes it off to Walker. Back to Thornton.
Yeah, Waukee settled into a half-court defense this time.
Pull up and short, but the rebound underneath there. And, oh, he was going to kick it back out. Oh, DeVries got it, and it will stay with Waukee.
Yeah, Urich, an excellent offensive rebound, but tried to force a pass back to the outside. Never saw DeVries stepping into the passing lane there.
And trying to throw the ball through the lane. I still remember my coach saying that. Do not throw it through the lane because there's a lot of arms in there.
Especially with a team as tall and long as Waukee is.
Throw it over the top.
Right back down to this block. He's got the same matchup. You're going to go to that all day long.
Takes it to the right hand and up and good. And Sanford gives him a 3-point lead. Quickly down, up and good by Urick.
Again, with that three-quarter court pressure, they're able to break it and get an open look.
Foul on the rebound.
And Swanson going to get called for the foul. So it'll be interesting. I know Justin Ole likes to mess with the defenses and give them different looks every time, but I think you got to settle into this half-court look because every time you stretch it out, they break the press and get a layup.
They've got enough speed to get it the transition there.
I mean, you just don't want to make it that easy.
Reardon spins up and good. Whoa.
That was a big boy move.
Valley back up by 1. DeVries now goes to the left hand and they call a foul.
Urick got a hand in there.
Yep.
14, Drew Urick.
Urick gets the foul, his first on the team here in the second half.
You know, Valley does have the lead, and I totally respect that, but for them to actually get a little bit of cushion and potentially win this game, it'll be interesting to see if they can somehow slow down Sanford, who's being guarded by a guy 5 inches shorter than him in Thornton.
And DeVries, has he even taken a shot yet here? I don't think so, has he?
Not in this quarter. But that's the thing, though, Dar, is that the matchup right now you would think dictates trying to feed Peyton Sanford until they double him or give him a different defender. And it'll be interesting to see if Justin Ole tries to find a way to get him the ball back on the block, and there it is.
DeVries back to Sanford. And just bounces in and out and pulled down by Reardon.
But that's the look, Dar. I mean, as long as Thornton is guarding him, you have to look for that matchup.
Walker looked at it. Now they'll rotate it back around to Thornton. Down on the block. Spins back around and gets it partially blocked, I think. And then, good. Urick takes it in there and puts it up and good.
He hits the offensive glass so well. 6'3", not the tallest player out there, but he just knows how to kind of squirm into position, and a great double clutch finish to give Valley a 3-point lead.
He's got 6 points in the quarter, 8 overall. Urick down on the block again. Sanford back out.
They came with the double that time with Reardon.
And he takes it out long, and I think he thought he got his hand hit. He's asking the official, but nothing called because he did miss that kind of wide.
Yeah, he definitely was looking for the foul when he released the ball.
On the drive, and then blocking foul called off the drive by Auer.
And if that's DeVries, that's 3, and it is.
Yep. Tucker DeVries with his third personal.
It's getting interesting now. So they threw the big man, Reardon, as timeout Waukee. They threw Reardon on the double team there defensively, and then Sanford thought, okay, I need to get to the perimeter. And Thornton is an excellent perimeter defender. So Valley winning the chess match right now.
Justin Ole was asking about that shot back over here. He said, didn't he get him on the arm? And the official there said, I don't know, but we'll keep it right here. And again,
it's interesting, Dar. I mean, this is the kind of, like, I still feel like Waukee is clearly the better of these two teams, but when we're talking about, I know that I was a little critical at the end of the first half that they didn't try to capitalize on possessions with DeVries and Sanford. But at the same time, they went down by only 3 at the half, and then they've come out with a really good game plan defensively.
And then halfway through the third quarter, they're up by 3 here.
And Waukee doesn't really have any offensive answers right now because of the way they're kind of baiting Sanford to try to go to the block. And as soon as he's catching it now after a couple of easy buckets on Thornton, they kind of tricked him into feeling secure on the block. And then they start sending the big man Reardon at him. So he tries to come to the perimeter, and he's not going to get open shots with Trajan Thornton on him outside the three-point arc. Very, very interesting how Waukee is going to be able to attack this offensively.
And then we'll see how DeVries plays with 3 fouls. If he's shooting outside, that's not a problem. But when you go to the hole, then that's something you got to think about.
And you made a good point. He hasn't taken a shot yet here in this third quarter, and he has 17 in the game.
So Jake Auer goes to the line. Hits it. Auer's 87% free throw shooter, and
Yeah, he's not going to miss many.
Books both of those. And now all of a sudden a 5-point lead for Valley. Sanford looks in. Now spins. And one.
That's a tough foul call on Thornton. They're actually going to get Raritan on the help, actually. But that's if you're Sanford, you don't want to have to shoot over Thornton. What you really want to do is you want to try to get inside. And when you're posting up, that allows the double to come a lot easier, and that's why he was able to get to the hole there. Use that big frame of his to work around Thornton and draw the foul and get the bucket.
Got the free throw, completes the three-point play. That's a third foul on Raritan also.
And Waukee's defense has not been the problem when they've been in a half-court set. They've been very good defensively as well in this game when they've been in the half-court.
Raritan back out to Walker. Rotated around. Gets it off to Thornton. Auer goes to the left hand. Sanford on him. Three, good!
Oh, that's such a big shot from Ty Walker right there.
Pulls up and pops the three.
He does so many of the little things well, and right there, kind of off the dribble at the top of the key, got a little bit of space, not afraid to take a shot and restore a 5-point lead.
Sanford from the free throw line, no good. Rebound comes down to Auer. They push it up ahead. Into Raritan, up and good. Great passing by Valley now, and they built the lead up.
As long as either Raritan or Thornton is guarding Sanford, and if he forces a shot over them, Valley's going to like their chances.
DeVries backs in, and he draws the foul.
And you were just kind of waiting. I know they were trying to establish Sanford there, Dar, but you're just kind of waiting. When is DeVries going to start trying to assert himself as the offensive go-to player?
And he's backing in there with 3 fouls, so he draws the foul, though. And that's the 13th foul on Valley. Lob it in Sanford. Over to DeVries. Fade away, short. And pulled down by Walker.
Again, Valley's going to take that shot all day long. Mid-range fading away.
Thornton back up almost. DeVries almost poked it away. Over to Walker for 3.
Wow.
Ty Walker, 2 threes.
And he's done such a good job defensively. They're not forcing anything, and Waukee wants to talk it over again. They're down 10 all of a sudden.
Already Valley a 10-point lead. We'll take a break. Come back after this on CISN.TV.
The Chevy SELLDOWN event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy SELLDOWN. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com. People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Here at Waukee, Dar Danielson, Emery Songer, Valley on a 20-7 run here in the third quarter. They've taken a 10-point lead over undefeated Waukee, top-ranked Waukee. Tucker DeVries had 17 in the first half. He hasn't scored here in the second. Into Sanford, up and good.
Yeah, and that was a great set play coming out of the timeout just to get something going here on a cut back door. You're going to have some of those because that little isolation play or trying to rely on Sanford or DeVries to create, Valley is taking that away with some really next-level strategic defense from head coach B.J. Windhorst.
Urich with it up top. Gets it back. Now over to Walker. They rotate it back over. Auer. Urich gives it off. Now they try to trap him up top. And there it is. DeVries dunks it.
Tucker DeVries
So they obviously talked about double teaming high there, and timeout Valley has a quick 4-point run here by Waukee.
Yeah, and I like the timeout from BJ Windhorst here because then I was about to say after the made bucket by Sanford, it's like, okay, now if you're Valley, this is where you kind of go into your time-conserving offense where you just try to run as much clock as possible up by 8. But then Waukee said, not so fast. We're going to start throwing 3 guys at the perimeter by half court, and they're using the half court line as an extra defender.
Right.
There was nowhere to go with the pass.
And DeVries just stepped right in there and took that pass and dunked it home, and see if that gets Waukee back here. They're on a 4-0 run.
And if you're Waukee right now, you still feel good. You're still clearly in this basketball game, but if you're Valley, defensively, you're doing fine. It's can you score enough to keep Waukee at bay for the next 9 minutes of game time?
They've kept them from getting on any big runs here.
42 points will not win this game, though. They will have to find a way to score some more.
Sanford tries to sneak in there. Nice look underneath, up and no good by Reardon, and the rebound comes off to DeVries.
Not a bad pass inside, just couldn't get the finish.
Sanford turns, gets it to the right hand, can't get it to go, almost kept it alive, and he does. Battles in there and gets it off of Valley.
They switched Ty Walker onto him, and he's even shorter. He's 5'11". The fact that Sanford didn't score there, Valley has to feel pretty confident about that, but Sanford with some of these switches is getting himself open looks, and they're going to get Langdon or Thornton back on him here.
Colby Christensen comes in for Reardon to give him a breather for Valley.
See if they try to get Sanford high post, low post with Thornton on him.
DeVries down, up, and he draws the foul.
Waukee, for the most part, seem like they're okay, still kind of allowing DeVries and Sanford to create for it themselves. And why not? I mean, they're 2 very explosive scorers, but I think a guy like Wyatt Hess, who I don't think attempted a shot in this game, is going to have to be heard from if they're going to be able to continue to score against this Valley defense.
DeVries to the line. He's got 20, averaging just over 21, and misses that one. But a 5-0 run here. We'll slice the 10-point lead in half, and we'll see Valley.
I think this is a huge possession for Valley.
See if they hold it for the final. Looks like they will. Sanford comes out tight on defense against Auer. Auer pulls up for 3. No good. Rebound comes off. Shot at the buzzer. Ooh, a little high off the glass there, but at the end of 3, Valley with the 5-point lead here. We'll go to the fourth quarter after this on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, this is Chris from FIREPLACE Superstore. It's cold outside, and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, FIREPLACE Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Back here, we'll go to the fourth quarter. Valley outscored Waukee 20-7 in that third, but Waukee whittled that lead down on the 5-0 run and start the fourth quarter with the ball here with a chance to cut it down even more. Darn Danielson, Emery Songer with you. Would have been a couple of entertaining ball games so far here tonight.
Valley with a great effort in the girls game and coming back as a big underdog in this boys game and doing an excellent job there as well.
Waukee ends up winning in overtime with the girls. Sanford spin in, up, off, no good. Rebound, pulls it out of there and draws the foul as Thornton
Man, Lincoln
Runs into
Swanson has been so important, both on the rebounding end of things and just being in the way defensively. He's done an excellent job. First foul on Thornton, who's done a really good job defending Sanford outside of when he's getting posted up on the block.
DeVries with it on the block. Puts it up high. Archer no good. And, bad bounce off of Ty Walker. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Waukee.
Yeah, that's tough to swallow if you're Valley. But, again, Waukee, DeVries, and Sanford just kind of forcing up tough shots. Valley's done such a good job of not giving them what they want. And those two just trying to force the issue a little too much, I think.
Heston drives, kicks it, DeVries, fall away, three!
You cannot teach that. I mean, right as I say that, that's absolutely a forced shot there. But he's talented enough to bury it from the corner, fading away.
8-0 run. It's down to a 2-point lead for Valley. On the drive, Urich gets the bucket.
And that's probably the worst shot they've taken the last 3 or 4 possessions, and that's the one that happens to go in.
Yeah, running shot goes in, builds the lead back to 4. It had been 10. Long three, no good. DeVries falls down. They don't get the foul. And here comes Valley back at it.
Urich had an open look from the right wing, but that's not his game. He does not want to force that three at this point. He's only made 1 3 all season. Good job by just being patient with it. His team does still have the lead.
Hour out there, and obviously Valley trying to. Thornton bounces inside. They're going to try to run the clock down. Walker drives, kicks it outside for 3. Good!
What an offensive possession right there. Great ball handling, and as Waukee gets more and more aggressive, they will be leaving guys open. It's just, can they knock down the shots?
Hour with the bucket. That's 16 for him. Good look underneath, up. Can't finish it. Battle for the rebound and pulled down by Raritan, who's back in there.
And he's got a little bit of a size advantage on Lincoln Swanson, and he showed it there, challenging the shot and then getting the rebound.
Valley up by 7. Still a lot of time. They go out there with that trap again. Thornton goes underneath the Raritan. He somehow corralled it and gets the bucket.
I don't want to say that was lucky, but it was kind of lucky the way that went down.
It was. And he was so far under the basket, too. He knew where he was at. Now there's a foul.
Very ticky-tack on Urich there.
And they're starting to add up. We're up to 6 here on Valley. So the next one will be shooting foul for Waukee. I'm tangled in your cord again here.
It's not an ideal situation with the cords.
There we go. And the bucket and the foul.
Man, Lincoln Swanson, I came in thinking Wyatt Hessen clearly has to be the 3rd most important offensive player for Waukee. But, man, Lincoln Swanson, between him screening, offensive rebounds, and some of his work inside like that, he has been impossibly important. And then that's the 4th foul as well on Raritan, and that's a huge development.
Yeah, he's been really playing well for him in there.
On both ends.
And he completes the 3-point play.
How about Lincoln Swanson?
Cuts the lead back down to 6. Hour throws it into the middle. Urich bounces it out. Pull up for 2 by Walker.
And you got to stay aggressive here, Valley. If they're going to give you those kind of shots and make you work harder, got to knock down the open looks. You can't just sit on the ball because they're going to continue to trap you.
DeVries, it goes off of DeVries, the official says, and it'll go back to Valley.
Yeah, I think you could have maybe got a foul in there somewhere. I think that's kind of what DeVries was looking at, but it clearly hit his leg before it rolled out of bounds. And now we're in a full court man-to-man pressure here by, actually, this is more of a trap look, and they break it easily.
Walker gets it up, and, travel with it.
And that's the thing that you lose with Raritan.
Yeah.
Christensen just not quite as natural as a down-low post player offensively.
Yeah,
We've
and he
seen
comes
that
in
throughout
off the
game.
bench. He's not in sync with it, thinking about getting blocked, and, turns it over. Step back, DeVries, 3! Man, does that look smooth.
I just don't know what else you can do to stop the guy.
Nah, that one is hard. 5-point game, back the other way, 3, no good. DeVries pulls it down over the top of Sanford. Quickly up, and there's a push and a foul by Christensen.
What a catch on the full speed run by Lincoln Swanson, and then he stopped to draw the foul. Again, those are some risky passes to be making with still 4 minutes left, and it's just a 5-point game. But I have been incredibly impressed with Lincoln Swanson.
He'll get the 1-and-1 here, as he didn't get a chance to get into the shooting motion, and he nails it.
This is a 50% free throw shooter, by the way, coming into this game.
Yep.
And he's nailed 2 in a row, big ones here to try to work his team back into it. I mean, timeout Valley, but obviously DeVries has been the story at 26 points, but you cannot discount how big Lincoln Swanson's been in this game.
Let's take a break. We'll be back after this on CISN.TV.
We might not.
The Chevy SELLDOWN event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy SELLDOWN. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hi, this is Chris from FIREPLACE Super.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
4:09 to play in the ball game. Lincoln Swanson at the line. Valley had a 10-point lead. Second free throw is good. Lead down to 3.
And that was a little opportunity potentially to ice Lincoln Swanson. He called a timeout in between the 2 free throws, and Swanson still knocked down the second free throw. And Raritan comes back in. They're going to go offense and defense, I think, with Christensen and Raritan as much as they can here for the last 4 minutes.
So halfway through the fourth quarter, 4 minutes to play in the ball game. Get it to Auer. He'll drive in. Nice look inside. There's the bucket and the foul to Raritan.
Auer, a great job probing the defense and found that little slit where he can fit that basketball in. Great catch by Raritan. You can just see the difference when he's in there down low. His good hands and his ability to finish and a chance to give it a 6-point lead.
And he just knows where he's at under that basket. He's, if he's too far under, he leans back, but here now, chance for the old-fashioned three-point play for Raritan to answer the one. And pops the free throw.
That is such a big basket, especially coming out of the timeout. And now you're back up by 6.
DeVries into Sanford. Turns, puts it up off the glass.
You saw Raritan kind of look to maybe double there, but he's playing with 4 fouls. He cannot be too aggressive in there because they need him for his offense. That leaves Sanford one-on-one with the guy 5 inches shorter than him in the block, and we talked about that matchup. As long as Thornton's on him and he's within 10 feet of the hoop and he's backing him in, he's got a decisive advantage down there.
Sanford's first points here of the fourth quarter. He's got 14 in the game.
Traveled.
Travel call, yep.
Yeah, they come in with that trap, and Thornton did not have the help and did not see the extra man coming in time. That's the thing with Waukee's defense. I was talking about it. Valley's going to have to find a way to score enough points because Waukee will have enough possessions to keep coming back.
And they've got that length, and you got to be careful because they'll come up and trap you. Sanford stops over in left hand. Wow.
Nice little stop and pop around Raritan. Raritan can't challenge the shot because he can't pick up his 5th foul.
Shifts it to the right hand, from the right hand to the left, and we got a 2-point ball game. Waukee coming back from down 10. Crowd on their feet now here for Waukee. Auer with it, gets it back. Urick.
I think too early to play this kind of style. Going to have to take a shot.
For 3, rattles out, and that'll go out of bounds.
Urick did a great job, again, timing the offensive board, but just could not come down with it in traffic, and now Waukee a chance to tie or take the lead.
That was a good open look there. You got to take that one. But
he's knocked down multiple threes in the game, has Ty Walker.
Yeah, it's just rolled out. He's got 3 threes. Out to Sanford. Over to Heston. Back out to DeVries. Short on the three, but he gets his own rebound. What's the coach say? Follow your shot. DeVries backs in. Throws it over. And he stepped on the line.
Now, see, Wyatt Heston he's almost a 50% three-point shooter as well. I don't think he's taken a shot in this game. It's been kind of odd because usually when a team is keyed in so much on guys like DeVries and Sanford, that third guy could have a big game, and he hasn't even had a chance to look at the rim.
It seemed like almost there he wanted to drive and draw him and then kick it back, to DeVries or that for the three. Oh, almost trapped up top. They get out of it. Urich. Now he's dribbling around in circles, and
he's fouled.
Got fouled.
Now, Urich, we talked about it. He is not a threat to score at all from 15 feet and out. He just does not look to shoot the basketball, but he does a good job of handling the ball for the most part for a guy who doesn't like to shoot the ball.
So third team foul on Sanford. The thing for Waukee, they only have 4 fouls here, so they still have some to give.
And that allows them to be more aggressive with this trap.
Yeah, and especially if Valley tries to pull it out a little bit. And there's a foul.
And Valley plays that stall game so well without the shot clock, and Lindholm in the game for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to pick up a couple of fouls to put him into that 1-and-1.
That's the fifth, second on Lindholm, 15 foul. That's more important.
Would not be surprised to see him pick up another one here. There it is.
Into our. He does. That was my job because I was good at fouling. So if we had to do that late, they sent me in there and said,
they took DeVries out, so it wasn't him that had to take him, but Lindholm takes a couple and puts him to where the 1-and-1 will be in effect, and DeVries goes right back in the game.
Well, the coach always said, don't make it intentional. Make it a foul that,
Just make enough contact where they have to blow the whistle.
Contact, but don't give them, a 2-shot foul on the deal. They get into Thornton, and now there's a foul. Reach in by Price Sanford.
And you could tell Waukee certainly respects the ball handling and passing ability of Valley, not going to allow them to whittle this down under a minute. The Waukee, we know they can score on the offensive end. They just need the ball to be able to do that, and it makes sense to try to force free throws here. And Thornton hasn't scored a point in the game and has only attempted 3 free throws all year.
But he gets the rebound, does he? No. Can't tightrope the sideline, and it goes out on the scramble.
That's a tough break for him because he did everything right on the hustle play. But like I said, he'd only attempted 3 free throws all season, and he has to go to the line, and he hasn't even, I don't think, attempted a shot from outside of the layup.
Waukee with a chance to take the lead here.
They've made a switch. It's now Thornton guarding DeVries on the perimeter, and they got Urich down low taking on Sanford.
Just
5 seconds.
Windhorst, yeah, he was jumping up and down saying 5, and they finally called it. So now back to Valley, up by 2, 1:12 to play.
Well, that's the thing. We talked about it. I love DeVries and Sanford's game, but sometimes against a really good defensive team, especially in man-to-man like we saw right there from Valley, sometimes you think that you have to do everything, and you just can't worry about that when you have a 5-second call on you.
Pressure. Oh, almost a turnover there, but a foul will be called on Swanson, I believe.
I think
Heston,
yeah.
Excuse me.
And then this time it's going to be Ty Walker, who's a much more seasoned shooter. He's made multiple threes in this game, a couple of mid-rangers, and he's 73%.
Yeah, 73% from the free throw line.
So completely different than sending a guy like Thornton to the line here.
But it's still big here because if he gets them both, it's a 2-possession. And he gets the first one of the 1-on-1.
That's big. And their defense has held up pretty darn good, I think.
They had the 10-point lead, got it down to 2. Now that one rims out, so it's a 3-point lead here. Coming up on a minute to play in this ball game.
You like to see him run a little bit of offense here.
DeVries kicks it out to Sanford. He drives in underneath, look, up and good.
Lincoln Swanson again. Of all of the guys who have been as impact as anybody, it has been Lincoln Swanson in this fourth quarter.
1-point ball game here, our 30-second timeout. So let's talk about each of these huddles. What's the strategy talk
Well, for Valley right now, it's keep doing what you guys are doing on the offensive end. Hold on to the basketball, crisp passes, don't lose it out of bounds, force the foul, make your free throws. For Waukee, they have to think defensively, we have to keep the trap going, but you have to keep a guy down here in case they get loose. You don't want to give them up an easy layup, even though I think Valley would probably be better off just running time here as well. On the other end of the floor, Waukee, keep running offense and don't be afraid to pass it to somebody that's not DeVries or Sanford. And Valley defensively, while they've done an excellent job in holding their form to the most part, it's got to be all about just being in good position, and I would dare them to have Lincoln Swanson try to beat them in this fourth quarter.
Both teams with 8 fouls, so they each have a 1-on-1 yet to go before they end the double bonus. They back off that trap for a minute there. They let him get it through. Ty Walker.
They're trying to foul him right there.
Yeah. And they do, so they'll send Walker to the line.
I was going to say, he will continue to dribble it out if you give him space.
So, 9th foul now. Walker, he made the front end of the 1-on-1, but missed the second one there. Pressure free throws for Valley again, and he hits that one.
Those first ones are really important because if you miss the first one, you don't even get a crack at a second one.
For the second one to make it a 3-point ball game. Hits it coolly there.
And I really like his game. Ty Walker has been excellent on both ends of the floor.
So, Waukee, do you shoot 3 quickly here or you wait?
You can still run your offense here, but you got multiple guys who you could trust with the 3. Great play.
Backdoor cut, up and good.
That was clearly a drawn-up play in the timeout as well.
They get it through, and a foul on Price Sanford.
And Valley's done a great job of making sure Walker gets the basketball before the foul.
Yeah, you get it to the guy.
Between him and Auer, I mean, those are the guys you want to have the ball.
Auer's shooting 87, Walker's shooting 73%. And now it's the double bonus.
I do like going for the 2 there, Dar, because there's still enough time left to get the foul and maybe they miss another free throw and make it easier for you.
And he hits that one.
By the way, Lincoln Swanson got the assist on that lay-in by Price Sanford. He's doing everything out here.
Second free throw. Good.
Wow, he is so smooth.
Ty Walker, cool. He hit the front end of the 1-on-1 and missed the second one, but he's hit 4 straight since then, and now it's back to a 3-point ball game.
I'd still look for your 2 here first. They're going 3.
Here's a 3, Sanford. Go! Boom!
Forget the 2.
We're going to go to overtime again.
You got 6 seconds. Got to do something quick, but Valley uses their last timeout because I think Walker just didn't know how much time was left, and he was going to walk it up the floor, time and score, but 4.8 seconds. They'll have 3/4 of the court to move up. I said you could realistically go for the 2. You had enough time to foul and see if you can get a miss because it's almost automatic they're scoring 2s right now. But what a shot by your big shot man, Peyton Sanford. Big-time Power 5 Division I schools are looking at this kid, and that is why.
He hit a 3 in the first quarter, but it's been all 2s since then.
He's been pretty quiet. If we're talking about the entirety of the game, I know 19 points is a pretty solid number, but he has been fairly quiet throughout.
Well, hit the 3, and then he didn't score at all in the second quarter, and then had a big third quarter there with 2, 4, 6,
and that's
8,
when
9.
they were beating him in the post against the smaller Thornton.
He had 9 there, and then now comes back, and he's got 7 here in the fourth.
Important development. They just added a 1.5 seconds to the clock, so now there's 6.3 seconds. Valley with no timeouts, though. I would imagine, Dar, we're going to see Waukee with more full court pressure and not let Valley set up an offensive play in an open look.
Yeah, you want to make him throw a desperation shot up there.
And if you're Valley, you don't have to feel like you have to force anything early. You don't want to give Waukee a chance to make it either because this game is tied, and going to overtime isn't the worst thing in the world, although at the same time, Waukee's got all the momentum, and you don't want to give them an opportunity to beat you.
Valley can foul to be a 1-on-1. Any Waukee foul is a 2-shot foul here. Auer gets it. Cross the half line, 3 seconds. Pull up! Bounces no good. We're going to overtime again.
Not a terrible look for your best 3-point shooter. Good job just able to get that off because they did not give him a screen or anything. But holy cow, what a good comeback here for Waukee.
My New Year's resolution was to shrug the title of Mr. Overtime, but I am not going to be able to do it, I don't think.
2 games, 2 overtimes.
We're going to overtime again, folks. Stick with us. We'll be back with the overtime here, tied 59 after this on CISN.TV.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving Northwest and Central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
We are going to overtime. Doubleheader, double overtime games here. Waukee girls won. And Emery, you got to think the momentum favors Waukee a little bit. They came back all the way from 10 down and were able to battle back and tie it up.
Well, they had a quarter and a half to do that. They went down 10 with about 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and it was a slow comeback, so give Valley credit for not giving up the big run. At the same time, though, I have a hard time thinking that Valley can continue to stave off DeVries and Sanford after doing so for 4 quarters, the best that they possibly could. I say that, and they combined for 45 points in regulation.
Auer pulls it out and got the time going with him. Ty Walker, he's been big for Valley here in the second half.
We saw the Valley girls do this, just run a ton of clock to start the overtime and make sure they get a good shot.
Down, kicks it out. Thornton.
Whoa!
Oh, man.
His first
Great
shot
job,
attempt.
Thornton. A three.
His first shot attempt of the game from behind the arc, and he buries it. Oh, that is such a huge shot, Dar. That's his first points of the game.
A minute gone in the overtime. DeVries off, no good. Rebound, battle for, jump ball will stay with Waukee.
Swanson, a good job battling for the board, but holy cow, how about Auer trusting Thornton outside the arc, and then Thornton to fire the shot.
He averages 3.3. He's hit his average now in overtime.
Wow.
Into Sanford, inside DeVries, spins, fakes, puts it up, and gets it.
I mean, and Thornton can't do anything better. He's straight up and down. He's forced a tough shot. That's just a talented offensive player doing what he does best, make shots.
28 for Tucker DeVries, 26 through regulation. Auer with it. Valley hanging on to the 1-point lead.
Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to get 40, 45 seconds off this clock before they really try to get in their offense unless Waukee starts pressuring.
DeVries reaches in. That's foul number 4 on him.
You just wonder if Waukee starts to get impatient having to play defense for that long with them trying to stall. And again, it's Walker who goes to the free throw line.
He's hit 4 out of 6 here in the fourth quarter and pops that one.
I mean, he's been so big in so many ways, and late as they were trying to stave off the Waukee rally, he made almost every free throw down the stretch, and he continues that here.
20 points for Walker.
And I got him 7 for 8 now from the free throw line, and all of them were crunch time free throws.
Back to 3-point lead for Valley. And foul by Urich.
Oh, it's such a tough call on Urich because that's 20 feet away from the basket. It was such a minimal contact. Sanford caught the ball anyway. It's tough. And that's also his 4th foul, and they have really needed him defensively because he's been guarding Sanford, and other than the Sanford 3 to send this thing into overtime, he's done a pretty good job since they switched him onto him.
Still a 1-and-1 though here. And everybody forgot about it.
Urich, because Waukee had everybody back, Urich was able to recover, and then the foul actually doesn't hurt them at all.
Yeah, and that was big.
They're still up by 3. Walker alone.
Walker 3. Oh! It rattles home. Holy cow.
Ty Walker, ice in his veins.
DeVries, no good. Rebound. Urich.
Good timeout.
Yeah. Auer came down on top of Sanford. and had the presence to call the timeout. Woo, Ty Walker. Yeah, Ty Walker hits a three.
Well, I said I don't have any idea how Waukee would lose the game, feeling like eventually their offense and defense is going to start clicking. And because we start at 0 in overtime, that first three is such a big shot from Trajan Thornton because that put Waukee behind the 8 ball, and Valley was able to run a little bit of clock. Great free throws from Walker. They left him alone because they're running around defensively. Buries the three. Sanford missed the front end of a 1-and-1, and then they force up, and that's the thing that you can't – there's still 2 minutes left. I know DeVries and Sanford are really talented guys, but that was a forced fadeaway shot from the right wing. It didn't go in, and then the rebound by Valley, and they have an opportunity here.
Because they had been calm, and when they had that open two, they were putting it up. But you're right. They put that three up,
and they put Lindholm in. I would imagine that is solely so he can foul someone. And then any made free throw here, Dar. It's a 3-possession game.
Yeah.
We're asking a lot of Waukee still with the offensive players they have to come back from that deficit.
And they will be in the double bonus then on the next foul. Waukee will be, but Valley's already in the double bonus, but full court pressure here. Waukee trying to keep the perfect season going here. And over the top goes Lindholm.
And they somehow, again, got it to Ty Walker, the hot hand. And again, one of these is huge. If you can get 2 of them, that is gigantic. The fact that you can have an 8-point lead with 1:47 left as DeVries will come back in for Lindholm after the first free throw.
Hits it.
Man, he's so cool. Like, how can you not be impressed with this young man and with the kind of game that he's put together? I also have him down for 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and he's been playing excellent defense despite being the smallest player on the floor.
Second free throw good. It's an 8-point lead.
25 for him in the game now.
DeVries brings it up, hands it off to Price Sanford. Back cut, Price Sanford up and good.
It's the exact same play they ran toward the end of regulation with the exact same guy, Swanson, assisting to Price Sanford. Valley has no answer for that. It's just, can Valley continue to make their free throws?
We'll take a break. Be back after this on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Back here at Waukee, we're in overtime, minute 38 to play. Valley looking for the major upset here against Waukee.
I don't think anybody would have saw this one coming.
No.
I know Valley is a respected program and everything, but this Waukee team was rolling coming into this game. They're fully healthy, had everybody at their disposal. This would be a shocker around the state of Iowa.
Yeah, they've been winning games by 15, 20,
against
20
ranked
points.
teams, against really good teams.
Dowling, they won by 24. The scramble. Valley comes up with it. And now they tie him up, and Valley will get the arrow.
Well, and Valley doesn't have any more timeouts now because they had to use that one on the scramble on this end before. They did a good job not calling one and getting called for the technical foul because they didn't have too many timeouts, but got to be a little bit more sure with the basketball.
Full court pressure on the inbound. They get it into Walker. They don't want to foul him. He's been just money at free trip. Up and good.
They tripped Auer and got away with not getting a foul call there. That's just bad luck for Valley.
Lindholm gets on the board, and it's a 4-point ball game.
I mean, that's bad luck for Valley, but an excellent job of just forcing some scramble action, and Auer hits the deck with no whistle.
And that'll do it for Lindholm.
But what a clutch layup. I mean, like, that guy hasn't shot all game long.
No, he's been in as a designated fouler, and he's fouls out with 2 points and 1:16 to play in overtime. Auer, the free throw line, hits it.
And this is the guy you want at the foul line if you are. I mean, Ty Walker has made 9 of his 10 free throws, but Auer is an 87% free throw shooter.
And he hits them both.
Now he's got 16.
6-point lead. DeVries with it. Pushes off of Trey John Thornton. Trying to get it in. They'll let him go inside and take time off. Out to Sanford for three. No good. Rebound comes down. Up.
Great pass.
Over. Oh! Exclamation point.
What a pass from Thornton. Wild shot by Sanford there.
And
a foul
called
on Sanford. Yeah, he just came down knowing they're down 8 with less than a minute left, fired up a wild leaner. And, first of all, get the rebound and go on the fast break for Thornton like he did. That goes against all your instincts to just hold on to the ball and wait for a foul. But he knew he had a 2-on-1. And what an excellent pass under pressure to Raritan, who finished it with the slam. And then Auer again is the guy that somehow gets fouled and he goes to the line.
Rattles one home.
They have somehow found a way. All but 2 of their free throws in the entire game are their 2 best foul shooters.
And he gets that one. He's got 18. 10-point lead. Back to that 10-point lead again. DeVries hits it.
Now, see, the free throw thing is the most important thing to me. At the end of regulation, Waukee was charging hard and tied the game into overtime, but Valley made enough free throws to where they didn't lose the game. If you look at Walker and Auer, all of their free throws, there are 16 free throws between the 2 of them. All of them came in the late fourth quarter or overtime, and they are 15 of 16 between the 2 of them from the line.
Yeah, Ty Walker hit the front end of that 1-on-1, missed the back end of it, and then he went on.
He's made the last 10.
4 straight.
The last 8.
It's just,
those are the little things that might not pop out of the box score, but that's the reason Valley's in the position they are.
And, when you get the lead on the number 1 team, then you got to hold them off, and they did.
And give some credit, Thornton's 3 to start overtime. Then you had Walker's 3 in overtime, and then, of course, the big fast break with the dunk on Raritan.
Now, Waukee's still here with a steal and a 3. The thing with the high school ball is the ball goes through the basket and the clock doesn't stop like it does in college. So,
well, and on top of that here as well, they've already turned Valley over twice down here in the last minute or so. So they're doubling up the inbound pass, and they're doing the double inbound.
Into Auer. Auer somehow gets it away. Offensive foul, though. I think will be called on Auer.
Yep.
So the best of what they wanted there for Waukee.
Now, see, they were trying to foul him before that, but it was actually a good thing they didn't because he was just trying to run away from the defense, and DeVries was just standing there waiting on him.
DeVries will throw it in and probably look to get it back.
Yep.
He does. DeVries long 3. Oh, almost banked it in there, but it comes off to Valley. So everything falling now. Auer has it tipped. Oh, gets back. Up ahead, Sanford puts it up and good.
Delay game warning because Waukee touched the ball coming out of the hoop. Didn't allow Valley to try to inbound it quickly. But it's just a warning. There's no penalty yet. But
that also helps them though because they stopped the clock.
Yeah.
Oh, they lob it through. Auer gets behind the defense there. There's no, he walked. He traveled. Whoa.
Wow.
Thought too long about the dunk there, and he traveled. That's big. There's still time here.
And no timeouts for either team here with 17.9, but you got to get a quick 2 or 3. I think you got to go for the 3 here. You're going to need one eventually anyways. They're going to the 2.
Oh, they got the foul.
They got Valley very, very fortunate that didn't go in because you do not want to foul in any circumstance at this point of the game.
Yeah, because then you can pressure them on the inbound with it.
Correct.
That's Auer's 4th.
But now it's Lincoln Swanson to the free throw line, who's hit 3 of 3, but 50% on the season.
He pops it there.
You know, this guy, again, he's not going to pop off the stat sheet tonight, but the reason Waukee was able to come back is because of him.
Yeah, he's done the little things.
This is an important one.
Got it. Now they can pressure.
And a steal. It's a one-possession game.
They throw deep.
Oh, yes. Good play.
And Thornton smartly holds it.
They got to foul him.
Yep.
Great job. Great awareness by Thornton not to drive to the rim that
and that's
time.
always the thing you got to worry about when you're pressuring up is that they throw long on you, and they did.
And a good job by Valley not panicking and bringing everybody into the backcourt, allowing a couple of guys to stay in the front court and take that long baseball pass. And now your best free throw shooter, who's 6 for 6 in the game, has 2 shots to basically close it out.
Yeah, just one here would do it. Hour to the line, and does it.
He's automatic. They're going to pull Swanson out in favor of the three-point specialist, Blake Pappenberg. But now you're going to need a lot of help, especially if he makes this one.
And he does. There's 20 for Hour. Oh, long pass. It hits the basket. And
that's it.
That will do it. Down goes Waukee in overtime, 77-72. They fall.
That was an incredible performance by Waukee to come back in the game. But for Valley, 3-point lead at the half. I especially was questioning the strategy with DeVries and Peyton Sanford both on the bench with foul trouble. And they just ran out the entirety of the first half with those guys on the bench. But they knew something I didn't. Came out with some big-time adjustments on both ends of the floor to start the third quarter. Within 4 or 5 minutes, had built up a 10-point lead. Waukee had, over the next 12 minutes, had to really chip away at it, and a miracle 3 by Peyton Sanford tied the game and sent it to overtime. But Valley never blinked or flinched, and to finish out the game in crunch time, Ty Walker and Jake Auer went a total of 17 for 18 from the free throw line. Unbelievable.
20-12 run in the third quarter that put Valley ahead. And did you keep score? Because
it was crazy.
I got all kinds of colors on here. On my
I did my best. 31 for DeVries obviously is going to be the headliner, and Sanford finished with 21. But when you think about just the general aspect of this game, Lincoln Swanson for Waukee did, like you said, the dirty things, the elbow grease, offensive rebounds. He made 5 out of 5 free throws, finished with 11 points, did a great job of trying to be, like, even though he's only 6'6", and trying to body up against, bigger 6'6" frames or 6'7" frames like Eli Raridan. Overall, if he doesn't have the game he did, especially in that fourth quarter, Waukee doesn't even have a chance to go to overtime. But as the game went on, you could see the poise that Valley had. Trajan Thornton hitting a 3 to start the overtime period was everything.
That was huge.
Because when you have the lead in a 4-minute overtime period with no shot clock, you get to control the tempo of the game. And they did just enough defensively to hold off the Waukee rally. And this is the thing that Waukee, I think, more than anything is going to see out of this game. Yeah, they can take a look at the X's and O's and maybe ways that they could have attacked the Valley defense a little bit more effectively. But Tucker DeVries and Peyton Sanford are 2 of the 5 best offensive players in the state, bar none. I don't even care who we're talking about. But it feels like when they got behind, both of those guys, when they had the ball in their hands, unless it was a drawn-up design play, were consistently forcing the issue themselves instead of working within the flow of their offense. And that'll work. I mean, they scored a ton of points between the two of them. Over 50 points of the 72 that they scored came from just those 2 guys. But again, that allowed Valley to kind of key on those dudes, get enough stops, and pull out the upset in the first loss for Waukee this season.
We talked about it, maybe foreshadowed a little bit, how you respond from the loss. I'm sure Waukee, they're going to bounce back. And then Valley with the upset. How do you respond? Do you come on, do you take that momentum and go on through the rest of the season here as Waukee will face Ankeny Centennial coming up.
That's no cakewalk.
And then let's see, looks like Valley has Ames at home. Waukee goes to Centennial, I think, or they host Centennial, either way. So they both have a couple good games coming up.
And I think if you're Waukee, you mentioned this in the open, and I'm not going to lie to you, Dar. I was just like, yeah, but I've seen Waukee recently. I just don't see this team losing anytime soon as long as they have everybody healthy. But you're right. Sometimes it's a game like this that can change the course of the destiny of a team like this, because now they're going to, for the next 2 days over the weekend, this coaching staff and these players are going to dissect this film What went wrong in this particular game? How did Valley find a way to beat us, and how can we avoid this from happening later? And I think that's going to actually help Waukee a lot more than winning tonight would have.
So the final here, Valley wins in overtime 77-72 to get the split on the night, as the Waukee girls won in overtime in the first game 38-32 over Valley. So 2 overtimes tonight. You got extra action here on CISN.TV. Thanks to Devin, Reese, and Randy on the cameras and at the controls here. For Emery Songer, I'm Dar Danielson. That's going to wrap it up from Waukee on CISN.TV.